2Z is showing themselves to be very strong on Blood Covenant. It's a map that's interesting because the way you play it is evolving right in front of our eyes, you know, both in terms of strategy on both of the obelisks, as well as, you know, the play through mid. And we've seen the whole play kind of expand from those obelisks out, but it looks like we do have Burial Chamber as our first map there. I mean, it's a huge one. You're looking for a lot of those air rockets, those rails, and a lot of the play through mid, a lot of the tossing of the soul out of the arena to get it to spawn back in there.
Yeah, and Ruins for the second map, I am so not surprised to see that as a selection for 2Z. Watching them play, watching them defend, didn't care which obelisk they had on lockdown both times. Interestingly enough is that we get DM6 twice in the game 4. Should it go to game 5? And Vic, what do you think, prediction-wise?
It's really, you know, at first, before I heard the interviews, I was really leaning towards 2Z, and now hearing that 50-50 thing, you know, I'm big on experience, but, you know, these kids have really shown me a lot, you know, in this tournament, the new blood, the new Quake blood. So I'm going to stick with my original prediction, and I think 2Z wins a hard-fought match.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Team Sacrifice Grand Finals. Let's kick it over to Ketchup and Mustard to take us into the action.
Yeah, it looks like we are very much about to go right now. We're going to have a quick chat about the team lineup when it comes to champions that have been selected the second we get into the game itself. But when it comes to composition, Slash, very popular. Sorlag, even more so. And with that in mind, you can see a lot of champions we've expected to see picked. Anarchy, Nick, Slash, Sorlag, all of which are fantastic combo.
It's also the exact same composition for both teams, but remember, the first soul spawning at 20 seconds, losing any teammates now this close to that spawn time, and look already, the plasma trail. Both Nyx is there, it is chaos right from the word go, and the soul goes straight to red team.
I mean, really, in this kind of situation, when you've got a Nyx who's looking to go in for the invisibility, a plasma trail painted there, the acid spit, there's going to be so many deaths at that first soul, but here we go. 2Z, they've already claimed the obelisk they want to take, already with 10% built as well. A fantastic lead to kick things off with less than a minute in.
Exactly already though, Chaos, the first power-up. Oh, Sturmy denying Zron the power-up, but again, Livingston going to pick that one up. Already 2Z controlling the soul and the power-up. They have lost it in contention, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away safely. Already Latromi is here to stop him.
Latromi is going to be unbelievably vulnerable to those attacks. It's going to mean quad damage. It will give you more damage, but you're going to take the same amount, and right there, we see him get taken out by Noctis. Who's going to get the quad damage? It's going to be such a vital asset to taking that soul back.
But there is that single strategy. There's one thing we see a lot, more so on Burial Chamber than any other map, is if you're near like the off-map, right, the out-of-bounds zone, being able to throw the soul out of bounds to make it respawn in the middle can be a blessing, and teams have been using that to the max right now just to minimize the work they have to do to get it as far away from the enemy obelisk as possible. But already 2Z 30% and climbing.
That really is a strategy that Team Liquid in particular have been adapting, and obviously not too fast, having a very close series against them in the grand finals, having a bit of a hard time against 2Z in this first round, but with the amount of maps and rounds combined we have to play, the first round is very important to get that momentum on deck. Right now, 2Z looking to take it.
So not too fast, in a great position. They have control of the soul. Now they have to get it safely back to the other obelisk, but 2Z already trying to stop them on the way. Sturmy kind of stuck here, looking for a safe pattern to go through. Unfortunately, two of his teammates falling right before his eyes. Still though, returning a few frags. Might be able to safely get back to obelisk A, but we can see 2Z are not making it easy.
He really is in big trouble. Very, very weak, but with that Ghost Walk available, going to be able to keep himself alive. Another little rail there, just take out Zron, but Noctis trying to make that trail all the way back. But this is one thing we constantly see when a team tries to prevent the other from going into the obelisk. They will just put all of their resources into that location before they even get there, and it worked out. Latromi with the soul back, popping the injection stay alive for just a bit longer.
That was an unfortunate situation for Not Too Fast. They got it so close to their obelisk, but weren't able to capture it, and again, they haven't raised the percentage at all, despite having it away from 2Z for so long.
So the problem they're going to have right now is, as long as this soul remains to be in limbo, it will prevent that percentage from climbing. That said, 8 seconds away, protection's going to spawn. Whoever gets this protection really is going to set the tide of what we are about to see.
You know how dangerous it be. 2Z piling in the bodies, trying to desperately control this power of the plasma trail coming through as well, and the protection will go inside with Not Too Fast. So now they have the soul and the protection. This is a marvelous situation for Not Too Fast to really build up some of this percentage in response to 2Z already having the lead.
I mean, 2Z, they really did pile in trying to take that protection, and funnily enough, they've been able to seize it on the obelisk itself. Not Too Fast. They've only just got 20% built. 2Z with a fantastic lead, but with that protection in hand, and especially with a soul lag behind power-up, that's going to be a hell of a issue to deal with.
So this is a scary thing about this champion lineup. The Sorlag, the Slash, Anarchy, and Nyx. It is 4 champions that no matter who has the soul, they will be able to quite swiftly take it as far away as possible. Even Sorlag, oh wow. There we go, like a clay pigeon being shot out the air. Even Sorlag, being as beefy as she is, still moves deceivingly fast.
That's that bunny hop passive. As long as she's going to be bunny hopping, she will accelerate over time, making her a little bit fast, especially compared to the rest of the team. But Natromi with a cheeky little double there with the LG.
Like that though, both teams recognizing that the soul was likely to be out of bounds there, so looking at the middle, trying to collect it as soon as possible, but NOTOFAST, all 4 of them here, not letting 2Z capture it back again.
It's that classic composition. The benefit that both these team comps will have is that normally, back in the day, it used to be one dedicated soul runner, it used to be an Anarchy, but as the game has developed, you can see Nyx, Slash, Anarchy, all 3 of these champions, if they have the soul in hand, they can quickly make that run back to an obelisk. And you've got 3 champions that can do it. It's hard to pin just one down.
That was good teamwork there. Stommy out of bouncing the soul, and already he had him ally waiting in the wings, trying to pick it up, but 2Z ready to intercept. And just like this, 2Z are doing a marvelous job of just denying NOTOFAST any percentage whatsoever. Even here, managing to get the soul before NOTOFAST can build anything up.
Natromi being a little bit careful because realistically, Anarchy, even though he's nice and quick, definitely doesn't have the most health and armor in the game, but a nice little quick rocket boost. And super quick, delivers the soul, but for how long?
That one rocket boost did make all the difference, though. So how fast is Luga? What a shot in return. 2Z now 50%. Half the work is done, but almost 5 minutes into this round, we are going quite back and forth.
Now here comes the quad damage. It's going to go in the hands of NOTOFAST. Anarchy Noctis looking to be on the warpath with quad damage, but the rest of his team, they fall all around him. Does manage to get Zron, but if he goes out now and gives them quad damage, it's disaster.
Just surrounded, but still plenty of health and armor to work with, trying to go in from the left-hand side. We see 2Z here, trying to defend 2 of them here, but NOTOFAST here in force, trying to take the soul back. Oh, the suicide.
It looked very much like a tactical suicide, maybe give it to the rest of his team. Unfortunately, Zron was able to collect and get a couple of gauntlets, and then a machine gun to follow. 73% in the bag already. Looking to be in good form to make it 100 at this rate.
That's something we see that can be quite a dangerous situation when you decide to forego going for the soul to really try and control the power-up. If you then lose the power-up to the team that's defending, it can quite quickly go sour, and that's what's happened. And 2Z now 85% and going up. NOTOFAST only 20. It's going to be difficult for them to bring this round back.
This is also a map that you see Railgun be ever so prominent, because especially on this obelisk when you have so much range, yes, you've got those pillars that can block, but the level at which you can just pick people off, it doesn't exist in the other obelisk. 2Z, they've understood that.
I think the rail is going to play a huge part in this entire series, no doubt, because this isn't just 2 of the best, well, arguably
you were saying,
the 2 best sacrifice teams in the world right now. Some of the absolute best Quake players. You know they have these decades of experience hitting these rails against tricky moving targets, and this is a whole game mode where that is crucial to do.
But unfortunately, NOTOFAST unable to pull the momentum away from 2Z for this first round. It's going to be 1 round, and it's the best of 3 rounds per map. So 2Z, half the work already done.
For the first map, at the very least, this is 3 out of 5 map scenario, but 1 round down, 5 to go. 2Z setting themselves a good start for taking this first place. We have to remember $300,000 for the winning team and $150 for second. Also, that's obviously quite a respectable amount of money, but a big difference between them.
I mean, this is a $150,000 money match, and I'm pretty sure every single member of these teams wants to have a piece of that. But 2Z already. Nice little start there. Anarchy, Natromi, very, very weak, but this early on doesn't matter too much.
As long as they respawn in time to contest the soul, it's not too much of a problem. But already, you can see 2Z. There's that plasma trail being painted again. No fear. Oh, Claw's going down. Claw's going to get that frag on Sturmy. I mean, it's one thing to just put down the acid spear and the plasma trail to try and deny it, but you can't just completely forfeit the soul. You have to at least try and contend it, which is why we see so many instant frags as soon as it spawns.
Well, speaking of frags, here comes the quad damage. No power-up lets you do it better. And when the power-up spawns this early on, if you manage to get the soul delivered and then your team gets the power-up, that is almost guaranteed percentage. It's a fantastic start. Not too fast, though. Toxic with that quad damage in hand and an LG. I mean, this is a lethal combination, especially in the hands of the Quake. For God.
I love the patience, though. Toxic, he had quad, but he was content just sitting there waiting for the rest of his team before he just attacked this point. And already we see loads of frags coming out for NOTOFAST, but no! Silent Step is going to take him down. The quad damage gets snapped up by NOTOFAST anyway. Noctis able to salvage that, and they have managed to steal the soul away. Can they safely get it back to B?
Yeah, he just needed to stay alive long enough to get that injection back on deck, safely back up there to full health. And now, with the soul in hand, looking to make the run back. You can see a couple of members of 2Z trying to head him off, but really, Anarchy, one of the fastest champions in the game. Hard to do that.
Especially in the hands of someone like Noctis, we saw being a bit of a one-man army in that situation. 3 kills with the lightning gun, as well as holding the soul himself. Been an absolute team player so far, but it looks like a bit of an exchange going on. Soul is in transit. So many frags left, right, and center. This really is sacrifice. It's all about you will die, but how often can you make the most of your uptime, right? Working together.
And not too fast, they have been able to deliver the souls, so they're getting a little bit of percentage on deck. Every single ounce of percentage is going to be so important in this situation, especially seeing as the divide between the lead, it's not very big. 21% for 2Z, 9% for Not Too Fast. That's basically like 30 seconds of soul time, and it's going to be more than enough to take the lead.
And as you can see that though, funnily enough, 2Z able to control the soul once again. Only 2 minutes in this time though, 20% to 9. Not a huge difference. Noctis from behind with a surprise gauntlet. Not Too Fast here again, trying to take this point back by force.
We're going to see Noctis do that a hell of a lot throughout this series. And the Anarchy gauntlet, I really think no one does it better than he does in this game right now. Bold, very brave decision making.
But positioning though, 2Z already here trying to stop him, but a nice quick direct. Makes a massive chunk of damage. Noctis going to take that one away, throwing the soul towards the point, trying to minimize how long he has to try and get it back.
But this is the one huge element that we're seeing 2Z do. I mean, like, Not Too Fast, he was able to throw the soul away, trying to sort of bring it towards the obelisk, but the second claws collected it, they just threw it back into the lava, forcing it to respawn in the middle of the map. I mean, the hard work is already done. You've just got to do half the work to bring it back now.
So has it actually out of bounds, or is it still in the lava?
Well,
I'm not
we'll
sure.
see.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, eventually it did. I was wondering if the lava still maybe didn't actually count as an out-of-bounds zone.
Yeah, if it's out of bounds for just long enough, it will eventually respawn, but it depends on where it gets thrown on the map. But as well, a chance to talk about that 2Z, not only delivering the obelisk, but plenty of quad damage left to go. And with Zron, I mean, it's not just a matter of being good at sacrifice. There are some world-class duelers and world-class aim on this team. So if any one of these gets quad damage, you've got to be scared for it.
It is going to be Zron for now, though, with nothing but a machine gun arms. But he is more than dangerous. Toxic going to get return frag, though. LG doing so much work. Looks like Not Too Fast able to control the soul, trying to desperately get it out, but already 2Z here trying to stop them from getting too much distance.
But that's what you just said right there. The issue Not Too Fast have been having so far is they're able to take the soul, but they're not able to deliver it alive. 2Z are doing such a phenomenal job of just communicating, using the fast mobility of their champions to just head them off. And right there, already 3 of them have gone down. And the soul, I mean, it's been delivered now, but you know 2Z are going to have an answer for this.
That was a good situation for Not Too Fast, though. 3 of them fell down. The one that was left was able to drop it off, but already C2Z trying to get through Latromi with a quick double kill with the lightning gun, bringing the soul back. Not Too Fast unable to get really any substantial amount of percentage on that one attack, and 2Z taking it away already.
That's going to be the nature of these team compositions that both have 4 of the exact same. It really is going to be who applies their game plan better. The better team truly will win in this match when everything is identical.
Oh, look at the juking left to right. Latromi making him about as hard to hit as possible, and Claws is going to finish that one off now. 50% over halfway, and what could be the final round of the first map. 2Z already with a commanding lead.
This is quite a big ask for Not Too Fast. They've got so much work to do. I mean, you can't count any of these teams out at this level, but 2Z have done such an amazing job of just putting on that chokehold where they get percentage. You take the soul back, they do not allow you to climb it at all.
I mean, there's no beating around the bush. This is going to be a hard-fought match for Not Too Fast. 2Z, even though we know they are 2 very skilled teams, 2Z just have been on another level of just untouchable this entire tournament.
Sturmy with the fantastic timing on that sort of just reappearing of the Ghost Walk, timing it on the protection. Noctis with the protection now, but not a huge amount of health. Even though 50 health is fantastic with protection, Anarchy in particular by himself, you know 2Z will close in on him.
What a rocket direct from so far away. Good shot from Noctis. That entire time, 2Z were building up percentage. He has protection. It's going to be hard to take down, but still, 44 health. He is massively outnumbered, pinned against the wall. Is he going to be able to survive this?
But you can see, just Ron, he was out back. He wasn't even in the obelisk room. He was keeping the entirety of the rest of Not Too Fast, unable to give Noctis any support. He just lost the protection, wasn't able to get anything done with it.
2% left to go. 2Z very nearly taking this first map, and they will effortlessly manage to secure the obelisk. And Burial Chamber is theirs to win.
Well, what a dominant map that was. I mean, we expected 2Z. They are definitely going into this the favorites, and with this map in particular, they did a fantastic job. And I said earlier on, the fact they have exactly the same team composition just means that 2Z, they simply played that map better.
They did, but this is what we expected to see from them. 2Z just have had that next level synergy. Not even just this tournament, in the qualifying stages too, in the regionals, in the online qualifiers. There have been no point of sacrifice competitive that 2Z have not looked in complete control, and it's looking it's going to be completely different today at all. Not Too Fast though, it is a 3 out of 5 setting. They do have plenty of time left to make the adjustment, but what do we think that's going to be? Are they going to try a different champion lineup? Is it going to be a map thing? Obviously going into the second map, it will be Ruins of Sarnath, so I guess we'll have to see what they can do on that.
We've seen Not Too Fast go through plenty of champions throughout Sacrifice. I mean, not just in this tournament, you said it yourself, but the regionals, the tournament before regionals, they pretty much at some point have used almost the entire roster of champions in the game. as part of a lineup. So if things are going sour, we may be able to expect a team change of sorts. But really, it just comes down to how well 2Z have been able to navigate the map. Full speed ahead. The second their opponents get the soul and they're about to bring it to Obelisk, 2Z are always there first. And then you've got to face off against some of the world's best duelers just to drop the soul off at the Obelisk. I mean, that is a final boss if I've ever seen one.
I was just trying to think back to some of the champions that we have seen on Runes of Sarnath have like a very breakout, game-changing effect, and a lot of them are kind of already being ran here. Slash great on this map, Anarchy as well, but I mean, perhaps some of the more big bodies, right? Scale Bearer being able to use that bull rush on a lot of almost like straight line angles to get through, perhaps even clutch. We saw Scale Bearer attempted earlier on by Team Liquid, so it definitely can be valued under certain circumstances.
And the Scale Bearer pick was fantastic too. I mean, like, you completely understood why that champion was selected for that map. I mean, Scale Bearer with protection, rip, really, not much you can do in that one, but as we mentioned, map number 2 is going to be Ruins of Sarnath.
But one thing we have to notice immediately, Burial Chamber was actually the choice of NOTOFAST. That was the map that they chose to go with first, and it wasn't even close. 2Z dominated that map, and now we're going to Ruins of Sarnath, which was their choice. I mean, in hindsight, this is, I mean, I'd like to say this would be more comfortable for 2Z, but there's 4 maps, and these are 2 teams that we know have been putting the time into focusing on sacrifice.
Well, really, there are some players out there throughout the Quake World Championship that went, I'm going to enter duel and I'll do sacrifice and we'll see what happens. When it comes to NOTOFAST and 2Z, even though Claws is in grand finals for duel as well, 2Z's main objective as a group of players, sacrifice is what they've put their time and resources into, not just by playing, but by study. They've been watching hours upon hours of match footage of their competition, and now Regionals has happened, they've had hours of gameplay from every team in this tournament. NOTOFAST as well. They've put all their eggs into sacrifice also. They've done very well in the duel, but this is very much the game mode that both teams have been trying to win.
I just love the way that 2Z were controlling that map, though. You know, they made sure that in almost every single engagement they had all weapons to go with, which can be difficult to secure in Sacrifice, considering just how many people there are contesting for those crucial pickups, but also just positioning, right? I don't think there was a single point in that entire map where NOTOFAST were able to pick up the soul right, and basically take it away from 2Z while capturing. And 2Z weren't always there within seconds, ready to deny them any space whatsoever. It seemed to be difficult the entire time for NOTOFAST.
Well, DJ Wheat said it himself, you know, during the analysis, where these guys in NOTOFAST have a combined experience of basically 60 years.
That's
These are
quite a long time.
legends in the world of Quake, and they go way back. When you're in this position, and you've just lost the map that you selected, and you're now 1 map down in grand finals, and the team you're against are the most dominant team in the entire tournament, this exact moment is where experience will shine. This is the situation where NOTOFAST will be more ready on the back foot because they've been there for many years.
I mean, we should say dominance. That's another map that's adding a nice, clean 2-round wins and keeping that loss ratio nice and non-existent. Another 2 rounds up for them going into the second map, Ruins of Sarnath. This is a very interesting map, though. Very entertaining, very exciting, can be played multiple different ways, but also one of those maps that early on, one Obelisk was heavily favored over the others. I believe it was Obelisk A, when it's really, you know, sort of up top, surrounded near the heavy armor sort of area. That was favored early on, but really, both teams have been so good. I was going to try me a bit of a crowd pleaser.
Having a good time is very important. You know, when you're riding this kind of momentum, if you can keep morale high, that's a fantastic way to go about it. And these guys, they realize they're 2 maps away from winning that extra 150K.
Hey man, that's the word, right? Extra. It's all smiles when you realize you're at least walking away with 150K as a team, but being able to double that with a couple maps worth of good play, I mean, I'll take it.
Now, you were just saying yourself, Ruins of Sarnath, what is it about this map that makes it so favored among those sort of high mobility, high octane team compositions that players like 2Z will bring to the table? Slash, I mean, even in duel, Ruins of Sarnath is a fantastic map for Slash. And then you've taken Slash, who in many ways actually, she plays duel really well, but she plays Sacrifice just as well, if not better in some occasions, and that's a super map for Slash.
Well, the last couple of weeks, Slash has really kind of come out to play. You know, she's had her time to shine. You know, receiving a few adjustments, now spawning with a little bit of armor has helped her tremendously, especially in a mode like Sacrifice, where, I mean, you guys have already seen it, right? There are so many frags and so many deaths in this mode that start every respawn giving you a little bit more armor than usual. That will do a lot to help you survive in a lot of situations that you'd normally just be a free kill.
It's just sheer utility. It's the ability to not only go super fast, in fact, she has a very small hitbox as well, but the ability to do massive damage, not just through the fact that the plasma trail does damage in itself, but you can paint it wherever you want it to go. We've seen already on Burial Chamber from both teams, when you've got a Sorlag and you've got a Slash together, and they're both using their ability at the very beginning when that soul will spawn, that is just a kill zone. The second you step a foot into that, you can't survive. And Nyx, a very popular strategy was beforehand, before we started seeing Nyx get selected a lot more in competitive, was Nyx would pop the Ghost Walk. She's invisible for a set amount of time. You cannot choose when to re-emerge. So you time your Ghost Walk, you reappear right as the soul spawns, and if anyone tries to take it, you tend to telefrag them. You can't do that against a Slash and Sorlag combined, because you'll die as you reappear.
She just doesn't have the health to take it. She'll reappear, be standing in a plasma trail. If it blows up, she is instantly dead. Or at the very least, sitting in a pool of acid. That's not fun for anyone, especially when you have the low health pool that Nyx has. But that really is one of the best things about this composition we're seeing, though. The Slash, Anarchy, Nyx, and the Sorlag. 3 of the 4 of them, very low hitboxes, well, small hitboxes, I should say. Hard targets to hit, especially with the speed they can do. I mean, you basically got very annoying flies, and that's just flying around, right? Just buzzing around, being as obnoxious as possible, running around with the soul, desperately trying to get away from you, and it can be hard to keep them in check.
Silent Sep on the side of 2D, that go-to Sorlag, who we've seen use this champion in almost 100%, or very, very close to 100% of these matches. He has been that unsung hero defender. He's very much the brains of the team, like he has a lot of knowledge in this game mode, he sort of calls a lot of the shots, but using Sorlag in particular, the fact that he positions himself in the most amazing spaces. On Ruins of Sarnath, you've got to be very worried about that, because the middle area where you've got the railgun on the bottom, you've got the bridge just near Mega up top, that is just a playground for Sorlag with Acid available. Silent Step knows where to position himself.
But you said it, right? Sorlag player. Silent Step has been using Sorlag so long during this entire World Championship that it's in the game, right? It's in the name. Quake Champions. It is great to be able to really favor a select few champions and stick with them in Duel. We see it all the time, but in Sacrifice particularly. If you've been using the same few champions sort of as a small team for just yourself personally for this long, sort of 2 or 3 months now, how long these guys have been playing, you have a lot of time to get nice and comfortable to really optimize how good you can use that champion.
I think this is what blows the mind, though, is that Quake Champions is very much a new game. It's been playable for just around 3 months or so, and the fact that these players, regardless of team, are this talented already. 3 months may not sound like a long time, but for these guys, it's a lifetime to get good enough to compete for $1 million.
So 2Z going into the second map, currently 14-0 round score between their journey from the start to now. Will NOTOFAST be able to get that first negative notch on the side of 2Z? They have to take this map. It's going to be first to 3 maps in total, when 2Z going into Ruins with a 1-map advantage. We'll be going into this match any second now. This is the grand finals of the Quake World Championships for Sacrifice 4v4. Let's see who's taking home that chunky $300,000.
Mission objective number 1, break the streak. Mission objective 2, actually win the tournament. I mean, they need to make sure and show 2Z that they will not take this for free. They have to make sure they can work for it. But against a team that is riding this much momentum, it is a hard ask to do.
Quite a relatively unimportant observation, though, is Ron on that Nyx. Have you noticed that his Nyx is completely red and all of his weapons are completely red?
I think that might be his favorite color, but unimportant fact, out the way already. The spawn is already on deck. The soul's there, but Noctis actually managing to pick it up quite quickly. And now NOTOFAST for the first time have delivered the soul where they want it to be.
We've already seen how important it can be to get that nice early lead, so you can control the pace. And NOTOFAST managing to do the same thing now, but already 2Z taking it away. Too little, too late, but already NOTOFAST, 2Z trying to get it back to Obelisk B. Not quite able to.
But here's one huge element about Sacrifice, is that the soul spawns and then the power-up spawns shortly after. But as you can see right here, NOTOFAST, Noctis has got the quad damage in hand, gets 1, but it's not going to be enough. Trying to run away, gets 2. Looking to try and take the soul back, but they do have the lead, be it a very small lead indeed.
Orb is getting taken out. Saron is able to pick him up, and there's a quad damage. Latromi now has it from Anarchy to Anarchy, just on the other team. A quad damage starting shotgun. How deadly is this weapon in the hands of someone that accurate?
But you mentioned it yourself, starting shotgun. In Duel, you tend to really see the SMG used quite often. In Sacrifice, the starting weapon is unbelievably important because you die so often in this game mode. If you're a fast champion, you're going to be close quarters all the time. The starting shotgun is one of the most important weapons, speaking of close quarters. Just grinded up by that gauntlet and the Natromi with a starting shotgun just to show it again.
Oh, nice, easy frag coming out for Toxic. Going to pick up the soul. Heavy armor spawning in a few seconds. Going to try and contest this, but there's the area denial. Silent Step trying to make it as dangerous pickup as possible, and he's going to take him down. Super shotgun coming up from Silent Step, but Sturmy able to pick him up.
There is so much action going on right now, but the percentage really isn't that significant. Both teams barely have any on deck so far. And just as you can see, there are so many frags. We go from death to death.
So the Noctis able to get a little bit of stability here. 1% in it at the moment. The Soul still in transit. They are fighting tooth and nail for this Soul.
It's getting the lead. That's going to be the first step right here, but you can see just how hard it is for both teams. The fight continues to take place in the center of the map.
But how can you bring stability back to this kind of chaotic exchange non-stop? Looks like NOTOFAST able to bring up a few frags, but Claws here already trying to put a stop to that momentum. How close can NOTOFAST get it? Looks like they have been able to put it on the obelisk at the very least. So after all that chaos, NOTOFAST able to start building up that percentage themselves.
Now Faz is coming up behind. He's got the acid spit available. Trying to get a little bit of an advantage from almost near mega health. But here we go, 8 seconds away. Protection will spawn.
Oh, so much damage.
But hang on, here comes Faz. He's just picked up the mega. If he can now secure protection, he is going to be a beefy lizard.
So the Lotromi down here with that Soul, trying to bring himself back up. Zron. Oh, there's a tactical suicide with protection, giving it onto someone like Slash. We see how dangerous she could be, and she's already hard enough to kill as it is, let alone when she's taken that much reduced damage.
And it's not just any Slash. This is a grand finalist for the duel that we'll see later. You do not want this gentleman with protection.
Still though, here's that defensive 2Z now, tying things up 19-19, but they are pulling off ahead, and Claws with protection and mega health, and practically invincible Slash until it runs off, which it just ran out now.
Yeah, he had a good run, but protection, well, the power-up in general is only going to last so long. Quite a bit of precarious position, but just NOTOFAST, they have to just dedicate, but with Claws sitting back there waiting, just guaranteed LG, and Claws, self-proclaimed greatest lightning gun in the world.
I mean, he is, getting close enough to be able to say that is guaranteed. He's doing really well for him, but on the topic of the lightning gun, being a heavily favored weapon for, at the very least, most of 2Z, just look at all these beams.
Just goes back and forth, but look at the percentage. It was very close earlier on, but 2Z, they have pulled ahead quite comfortably. Looking to almost make this 50%, and that's half the work already done. Not only just 4 minutes in.
As is the nature of sacrifice, it can slip away very fast if you're not being careful enough, but 2Z able to hold this just solid wall defense. Still though, you see the power-up going to be up not for another 40 seconds, and that can be almost just over 20 extra percent, which is going to do great things for 2Z.
Quite an obvious danger with the lineup like this is the fact that the only champion that can take any sort of punishment is the Sorlag. The rest of them don't have the health, they don't have the armor, be it yes, Slash has a little bit more starting health, but realistically, if everyone has good aim, you will die. You are unlikely to be missed. And right here, you can just see right there, every single member of 2Z cleaning house, and Toxic with a super shotgun just to seal the deal.
Point blank super shotgun, maximum damage coming through, but still 2Z able to hold the line, building up so much percent on this obelisk. NOTOFAST coming in. They have men on the point now, but there we go, Faz able to get a defensive kill. Sturmy as well. Looks like they're able to take the Soul themselves now.
But this is the change. The reason they were able to take the Soul is because 2Z were able to sort of split their resources. They wanted to dedicate towards that quad damage and take it beforehand. What's fantastic for NOTOFAST is they not only took the Soul back, but they were able to control the power-up as well. Quad damage and on the verge of making a comeback. This is how you start that sequence.
And as quad damage on Noct as well has been one of the star fraggers for sure for NOTOFAST. Putting up this percentage now 80-30. A little bit of work cut out, but if they can hold on, it will quickly even out. And another frag coming down, catching away down, but Zron going to get that return frag himself. Now controlling the quad damage too.
Now the quad has disappeared already. The important thing is being able to just sort of prevent and break that momentum from NOTOFAST. Silent Step, he's absolutely going to go down. 1 HP versus Rocket. That's a matchup you can't win.
Toxic, they're able to sneak through, has the Soul. They drop it off. How long can they hold it, though? That's the question. Already, we can see
heavily outnumbered 3 versus 1. Lotromi with that pincer. Look at how many members. All 4 members of 2Z. 3 of them are back and 1 up there just to cause a bit of chaos up front.
And even though able to get a few frags, Lotromi missing the jump, but will probably still be able to drop this off. We can see already 2Z here, ready to defend him as he drops this off for the last 20% of the first round in the second map.
I mean, defense, it's been 2Z's ace in the hole. It's been the thing that has made them so successful so far. They make it so hard to return the Soul, and when it's in their own obelisk, they just completely surround anyone.
Cleaning up now with the lightning gun, getting a bunch of frags on the side for NOTOFAST. Has at the very least managed to get them the Soul off the obelisk, but they need to get it safely back to their own.
Mid-air right there. Noctis really has been a star fragger of this map by far.
And he's the right champion for it. If you have the confidence, you have the speed to move around.
Now here we go, in 20 seconds, protection's gonna spawn. This is where you kind of have to make a choice. Does 2Z push the obelisk and try and take the Soul when NOTOFAST are going for power up? Or do they fight for power up first and use protection to take the obelisk? This is a constant decision that teams have to make.
Well, they're gonna have to make it soon because a few seconds away from respawning, but
looks like they've made their choice. They're piling in towards this protection. Both Nixes, but hang on, here comes Sturmy with the telefrag. Timing has reappeared just that 1 step better.
Does mean Stomey doesn't have access to Ghost Walk, but won't need it. His team more than able to get him safely back to the obelisk. Now this is a great situation from NOTOFAST, holding the soul, and they're defending with a Nyx with protection.
I mean, just look at how much it's only just gone halfway down. He has plenty of it to work with. While you're unable to fight a member of that game with protection, it's going to be completely free percentage. Zron gets taken out. Not much he can do there, but here comes the rest. Silent Sep trying to just melt the health down, but can't quite get enough. 17 and 3, I mean, still alive.
That one sequence of controlling protection has almost evened things out completely. NOTOFAST just over 80% now, 2Z 89. However, even though they're losing a few people, able to close it out a little bit. It's better than nothing, but already 2Z here trying to seize it back. And they have managed to hold it, but they are getting pursued, taken down. But no, looks like, I believe, is it Nyx? Yeah, Nyx holding on to the soul, able to try and get this back, but already NOTOFAST trying to deny it.
Oh, a really important rocket just to make sure Toxic was just that little bit weaker, even if you... Because you're going to die constantly. If you know you're going to go down, but you land a significant rocket, that is worth the death.
Depends on the target most of the time, but I mean, all 4 people on 2Z are value targets to take down. You don't want to leave any single member of this team alive. The gauntlet being kept at base.
But here we go. They've taken the lead. They've just got 5% more, and they are going to get the first round. This has been a hard-fought round so far, but if NOTOFAST can take this, it's at least going to stop the momentum of 2Z. 1 more percent. Is it going to be enough?
They are contesting, though. They're trading out frag for frag. Looks like NOTOFAST, they are able to get the better of the defense, and they'll take the first round. After an amazing start from 2Z, NOTOFAST able to bring it back themselves.
The power-up is such a game changer here. And I'm not going to say the power-up is the sole reason they won. It was their ability to make that right judgment call. It was Sturmy with the sheer timing to make sure he went invisible at just the magical time. Actually, Telefragged Zron, who had the same idea, but because Sturmy timed it better, he was rewarded. Telefrag ignores protection. You steal the protection regardless of who the champion is. A dangerous tool.
Well, you called it on map 1, though. That is the nature of having the exact same champion lineup as each other. You have the exact same strategies at your disposal. It's just a matter of who can put them to better use in the heat of the moment. Speaking of which, though, the Soul going to be up in just a few seconds. Already trying to get that sneaky steal on the Ghost Walk. Soul gets through, but Claws able to use it a little bit better. Just
a quick FYI, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first round that 2Z have lost all tournament. So the streak has temporarily been broken, but you know, NOTOFAST, 1 round is not enough. They want a map.
And we did say at the start, how are 2Z going to play once they actually lose their first round or even a map? And now, being the first round they've lost to the tournament, can NOTOFAST keep this momentum going and really put the pressure on 2Z for the first time over the last couple of days in this World Championship?
Well, so far, they've done more than recover. Claws, super healthy, got the quad damage, plenty of it left to go. Self-proclaimed best lightning gun in the world. You do know what to do with it. A double kill with triple kill with 1 HP remaining. That was an insane performance there.
And a performance of a man that's made it to grand finals of the Dual Cup we'll be seeing later on, but for now, carrying his team through to try and bring this one back, but NOTOFAST able to control it again. But Sturmy, the nice rail.
Gotta watch out for that rail. So many members of these teams surgical with that rail gun, and with the amount of distance, especially on this obelisk that the rail has, you can just pick heads off before you even close in close enough to take this obelisk.
Also much harder to hit rails than it might seem in this particular map, because 3 of the 4 champions on each team are very small, and you see the distance between them. It is not easy to hit these shots.
Much easier to hit them point blank with a shotgun, that's for sure. Ooh. Here we go. 15% versus 15%. Oh, like, Sturmy at the last minute.
Still, though, Claws able to only just drop it off before. Even though he died, it wasn't in vain. Building up 2Z, getting a slight lead.
And it is absolutely a slight lead, only really 10% realistically. But here we go. It's quite a while before the power-up spawns, so if 2Z can just defend without it for now, if they can fight for that power-up before it spawns, they're going to be laughing.
Lots of damage coming through from this LG, though. Oh, Nodes Direct's coming out as well. Faz getting a nice frag. Toxic too. They are here in force trying to bring this one back, but return frags from Claws too. And Latromi, but he dies to the acid.
Now, Acid, I mean, it's going to be the bane of everybody's existence on the defense. Silent Sep is a substantial defender when he's got that Sorlag on deck.
Well, the Ghost Walk reappearing with the gauntlet, but won't matter. Sturmy takes out his run immediately, and the Soul now going the way of NOTOFAST again. Faz able to secure this. Now what do? Power up going to be up in 15 seconds. Decision time any second now.
Now, the ability to control that power-up was really what made NOTOFAST such a dangerous force in that round. If they can do it again, they can be in a fantastic position, but Claws with the frag on Faz knocked this down as well. Half of the team already down when this power-up is just about to spawn, and because of it, looking very likely that 2Z have it, and they do.
Hang on, it's protection on Silent Sep on Sorlag. This is going to be very hard to deal with. We have the sheer damage output already taking the frag down to Noctis.
I mean, Sorlag with this much health and armor, they're trying though, they're trying to go in for the LG, but they just aren't able to do the damage.
If anything, all they did was make him move faster. Sunset able to get a little bit quicker back to the obelisk than initially planned. Still though, protection or no protection, 3 health is 3 health, but a tactical suicide, just so his teammate Claws, no less, can pick it up instead.
Going up behind Faz, trying to surprise, but really against a protection slash with plenty of health, you can't win that fight. There we go, 2Z, they've pulled away again.
Oh, Toxic getting caught out in the corner. Still alive for now, but look at the speed. Sturmy gonna go down to Claws.
A couple of members are NOTOFAST. They are consistently trying to ambush from behind, but looking likely that nothing gets past 2Z. Someone's near their obelisk, they know about it. And that's an element of just important team comms, making sure they are calling every single little action that is taking place.
But it looks like thanks to that kind of teamwork, we're seeing them with a double lead on NOTOFAST, 70%. Oh, Toxic kept in the air. Not allowed to move. Oh, Faz though.
No one likes to go out by an LG when you're stuck on a jump pad, but that's going to happen all the time here, especially when you haven't got time to decide how you want to go in. You know, you just look at the fact that 2Z, they've got 79% already. If you let a second spare, that's going to be 80 onwards, and that's barely anything.
Still though, looks to NOTOFAST. They still have the soul. They're getting it close, but he is going to take it down. Silent Step takes out Toxic, as well as Sturmy, and he's going to command this soul back, bringing it as fast as he can. Teammates, are they waiting? Because NOTOFAST got here first. Oh no, they're hit with him.
I think they got there at a very similar time, but NOTOFAST trying as hard as they can, but just meeting a wall of lightning guns. Speaking of which, Toxic and Sturmy all working together. Looking like they're going to seize this, but is it enough? Wow, Strong with the telefrag and a gauntlet. Goes down anyway, but one of them going down. That's going to be more than enough for the rest of his team to respawn and then clean house. One teammate down is going to be a fantastic fight for 2Z.
Oh no, look, that was a great opportunity for Noctis to try and throw the soul away, but Zron was the one to pick it back up, going to take it back up to where it belongs, and now this 90% lead is going to get ever so slightly closer. Power up just support though, so it's going to be quad damage. NOTOFAST were able to get it, but he died immediately. And Claws is able to pick it up. This might be the round for now. I don't know what they can do about this.
I mean, Claws has quad damage. He's got a mega health. I really don't know if NOTOFAST can prevent this. If Claws gets in and gets at least one frag, Sturmy, he was able to throw the soul away. But who's going to be able to survive to pick it up? Claws is watching it with absolute keen eyes. And there we go. There's the delivery. That's likely to be 100% is indeed 1-1 on Ruins of Sarnath.
So we did ask the question, how are 2Z going to respond after losing their first round of the championship? And the answer is simple. They'll just win the next round.
Now, one left. Now here, this is a pivotal round.
I actually love this though. This is the same thing, looking at the players after each round. Latromi doing the same thing. After they lost the round, Latromi looking at his teammates, discussing what they're doing next straight away. They win the next round, the exact same thing. The coordination and just the communication between teammates, it just never stops. And that is why they are here in the grand finals.
A lot of pressure rests on this round before the soul is about to spawn, but if NOTOFAST win this round, they're going to tie things up 1-1, something they need majorly. You do not want to be 2 maps down against what could be the champions with 1 map.
It's 2 rounds in a row. Claws was able to get hold of it first, but it's Ron. Tri-bolt kill, don't see too many of them. Claws, even though he just respawned, able to pick up the soul again. Actually, no one, actually, one person NOTOFAST, 2 of them here, 3 of them here, trying to stop. Well positioned by NOTOFAST, making that read that 2Z was likely to go there, and they managed to take the obelisk right under the nose of 2Z.
They went all in that too. I mean, all 3 members of NOTOFAST were like, right, they're going to come through this jump pad, and they were waiting to pile in. But wait a minute.
Quad damage. Play. He just appeared with a gauntlet and stole the quad immediately. Zron with the brave stuff.
Now, he's got quad damage. Unfortunately, this is a Nyx, and without that Ghost Walk Q's, she's going to be just easy pickings, even with the damage output. But 2Z, Silent Step, has access to it. But wow, a very crucial rail to make sure that he's deleted. Noctis with 2 in a row.
Who picks up is going to have a party. You get the LG soul and quad damage at the same time. Faz is going to be the one to pick it up. And now they're defending again. NOTOFAST, 20% to nothing. They now have a decent lead that they can hold on to.
This is an amazing start. And just racking the frags up over and over again. This starting shotgun with quad damage. Oh. And again, the Tromi melted.
Has a little bit left, a few seconds. Can get another one. Oh no, Silent Step brings it to him point blank. That
was brave. I mean, just understanding that if he misses this rail, he's going to be dead for free, because during the rail's downtime, you're unable to fire again. Kind of stuck for a couple of seconds, and a couple of seconds in sacrifice is a death sentence.
I mean, how many rounds have we seen go down to 99%? That is literally 2 seconds making the difference somewhere earlier on. But speaking of which, NOTOFAST, 40% to nothing. This is exactly the kind of start they need.
Couple of frags coming out, but even if you go down near your own obelisk, you will spawn quite close to the opponent, so it does give you a chance to double back. You're not going to be well equipped though. You're not going to be spawning near those important weapons.
Oh wow, Sturmy denying any percentage whatsoever. Rails from the left and the right to take him down, and now NOTOFAST, Noctis able to drop it off immediately.
You
50%.
can't underestimate the rail ability of every single member of NOTOFAST. I mean, everyone on this team, ridiculous aim.
It's really showing through this time, though. Noctis having the time of his life, 55% and climbing. This is such a great start for NOTOFAST. They can bring this map. This will be the first map lost for 2Z this entire time. The Acid is going to tick down, and Silent Sep takes out Noctis.
Here comes Claws up behind, walking right into the belly of the beast with that plasma trail. Unless it was his own, but we'll find out later on.
Still, though, the injection pop. Toxic trying to keep him here. The soul thrown away, but again, not too fast. 2Z just struggling to go in together. I'm not sure what it is. Actually, looks like Claws able to try and concentrate on this power-up. If they can go in together as a group, they might be able to do this, but...
I mean, with the mega health, it's one way to start, but just look at how many members closed in. Toxic with the detonation of that plasma trail as well. The quad easily in the hands of NOTOFAST. Toxic takes it for himself.
But I'm not sure if it's impatience, but 2Z just haven't been going in as a team the way we've seen them before, trickling in one at a time, almost non-stop, and NOTOFAST have just been putting up this brick wall of a defense.
There's been a couple of moments where Claws has opted to just go for the power-up, and he has been successful. The problem is, he does end up going in by himself, and then if it's quad damage, NOTOFAST will focus every ounce of gunfire onto that quad damage to just make it a non-problem. Then they can take it themselves. Sturmy does get taken out there. Latromi healthy with the soul in hand, but still has to be careful with no armor.
Latromi, you see the patience. He's wanting to make sure his teammates go in first, make sure it's safe for him to go in. Can't wait any longer, though. He is going to drop off, so they get their first percentage, but I mean, look at this, 85% to 1. It's going to be very difficult for 2Z to bring this one back, especially if NOTOFAST already take the soul away immediately.
Now's the first time they've been able to get an ounce of percentage in this round, which is really funny to say with 2Z being as dangerous as they have been, but Faz with the pickup just needs to safely deliver this. So there's a couple of members of 2Z lying in wait, but Faz just needs to drop it off, does manage to do that, and here comes the spray of the acid. And now, as long as Aniki can't survive, that's going to be free percentage until the rest turn up.
Couple of people from 2C here, but there's the rockets coming out. Toxic defending very well. Noctis here putting out the damage too. NOTOFAST 95%. A few percentage away from making 2C lose their first map, but they're not going down just yet.
It's very close. I mean, 5% versus 95%. Latromi has the soul, but look at how weak he is. Does get Noctis though, wins the 1v1. This could be the start.
Wins the 1v1 with no health too, but Toxic with a nice quick double with the LG. NOTOFAST 5% away from making 2Z lose their first map of this entire tournament.
I mean, 2Z, they don't have time to fight for the power-up. They can't. They have to pile in right now, but just look at how many frags rack up here. This could be the first map. 2Z lose the whole tournament.
They are trying to contest, but there's a few seconds left in it. Oh, Silent Sep only just managing to get the kill when contesting, and he has taken the soul away. And they also have the protection. This could be comeback city for 2Z if they can play this next sequence perfectly.
I mean, don't call it a comeback, but they've got the protection. They have the soul as well. Stron also with a rocket launcher and protection. Dangerous combination.
All or nothing. All or nothing comeback. 99% to significantly less.
They cannot allow NOTOFAST to take the soul at any moment. Normally, you can afford the soul to maybe sort of be stuck in limbo for a bit. Not in this case. 2Z, they need to make their stand right now. And
they're looking to make a start. He's outnumbered.
Ooh.
That was a little bit too brave, I think. Outnumbered and lost the protection in the process, but I don't think it had enough time left on for it to be a big problem.
Yeah, lasted a fair amount of time regardless. Claws coming up behind, trying to assist Silent Sep, but Silent Sep already gone down, assisted by the rest of his team.
So this is the first time this round that 2C have been able to have the time and the space to really set up one of these just amazing defenses that we've seen them do all tournament, but not too fast though, still 1%. They need to hold it for 2 seconds, and that is literally all they need to win the map.
The ability to defend an obelisk though is by far one of 2D's greatest strengths, and I think now they're in a position where they can do that. This could be the greatest defense they have ever pulled off in a Quake tournament.
Hang on though, all of 2Z are going to fall down. Faz and Toxic with that double team trying to bring the soul back.
Oh
able
dear.
to at least take it away.
Toxic, not very healthy, but has the rest of his team to support. Mega goes as well, which means that Toxic opting to change the soul. Rest of the team picking up. Now he's
over
damaged.
to a healthier teammate. Don't know if 2Z saw him do it though. Noctis taking it all the way the long way around, but this is what 2Z are doing. They're really denying any way they can.
Hang on, the pass! It's been collected, but here comes all of 2Z, really having to try and stop it as much as possible, though they've gone for the delivery. There we go! 2Z have lost their first map, and we're 1-1. That was incredible.
In a David versus Goliath situation, Goliath just lost his first map of the tournament. How are 2Z going to be able to come back from this one, though? Because now we're just evened out. But just think of, like, how that's going to hit your confidence and morale as a team when you are completely untouchable for days and days and days on end. And also going in as the favorites. 2Z were everyone's pick to just sweep this for free. But we know one thing is for sure. It is not going to be a 3-0.
Well, they mentioned in the interview, we go 50-50. When we play online.
That's true so far.
The score currently lies 50-50, so you wonder who's going to go next. And The point, I think, to really bring attention to is that they won the maps they didn't pick. The first map, Burial Chamber, was the pick of NOTOFAST, that went and has 2Z, and then Runes of Sarnath, on the flip side, taken by NOTOFAST. So really, I think if this tells us anything, it's that the map is going to be unpredictable. I'm prepared for every member of these two teams to be ready for all 4 maps.
Now, going into the third map, this is going to be incredibly difficult to call, with Lockbox being the one coming up. This is a map we've seen both of these teams just play immaculately on. And it's also a team that fits their champion compositions perfectly. Sorlag, a beast on Lockbox. Slash, Anarchy, Nyx, beasts on Lockbox. This is such a great map for both of these teams. I'd be surprised if we don't go down to a round 3 situation again, to be honest.
Now, if you thought that Runes of Sarnath was a fast-paced map, you ain't seen nothing. Lockbox, by far, one of the fastest maps in this entire game. It is close quarters from start to finish. You need to be a surgeon with the rail, because there are a couple of angles where, if you're defending an obelisk, you can see a great distance in roughly the middle of the map, very close to where the power-up spawns.
NOTOFAST, though, looking smiles all around. Understandably happy being the first team to take a map off of 2Z. If they can do that 2 more times, they will win. And as the underdogs, it's weird calling, referring NOTOFAST as the underdogs, because they've been the favorites to win the majority of their matches, apart from this one. This is the one matchup they aren't going in as the favorites. But to take a map, that is in itself highly commendable.
Well, we talked about experience, and experience is what NOTOFAST have buckets of. Even like Noctis, for example, he has won team modes at QuakeCon before. He's been in this exact scenario. Maybe not playing for this much money, granted, but the pressure of a tournament, you're in grand finals, it's your team versus another. He's been there before. LAN experience might be the one key that makes NOTOFAST win this. And to be honest, the fact that we're now 1-1, I feel like this just became impossible to call. If 2Z took Ruins of Sarnath, you would have been inclined to go, right, this could very well be a 3-0. But just because of that one map, I don't know how to call this one.
But it's not just the money they're playing for, it is that all-special trophy in the middle as well. They want the pride, they want the trophy, and they want that money. $300,000 will go to the winning team. And I don't want to use the word only, but $150,000 going to second. That is a colossal amount of money. But $300,000 is oh so much more.
History's being made right now. There really is no getting away from that. There can only be one world's first sacrifice champion for Quake. And at QuakeCon, no less. QuakeCon, such a staple tournament year after year for multiple different game modes. Duels, CCF, TDM. Everyone wants that title. When the new game comes out, you want to be the first champion. You want to be the guy to beat or the team to beat.
It's something that no one can take away from you. Regardless of what happens in the years down the line, no one can take away from you that, yes, I was the first Quake Champions World Champion for Sacrifice. No matter what happens from this point on, no one can take that away from you. But only one team can claim that title here today, and we are just mere maps away from finding out who that's going to be.
Well, this is what's been so exciting. You look at previous Quakes and the legacies that have been created. You go sort of Cooler in Quake 3 or 0-4 in Quake 3 also. And then the players like Cypher and Rafa who made a name for themselves majorly in games like Quake Live. Players like Toxic, no less, in Quake 4. And as each game progresses, new beasts come out to play. And they may have played for quite a while, but there are certain games that go right. These players are the ones to watch in the new game. In this case, it's Quake Champions. A very obvious one being Claws, who's playing in 2Zs, not just in Sacrifice Grand Finals. He lies in wait for the dual Grand Finals as well. But I'm really intrigued to see what historical team will make this first tournament.
It's a new chapter in the book of competitive Quake. All these years later, Quake Champions, here we are. But going into Lockbox as soon as possible. It looks like we're going to have a very similar composition in terms of champions. Not really a huge surprise. I know at the very least 2C have been favoring these 3 fast and lightweight small champions with the Sorlag to help out. And NOTOFAST have been very much the same train.
Sacrifice has a very strict meta right now. Every champion can play a job well, but I just feel like at this level of competition, the teams just feel like this selection of champions is the most efficient way. And also on the maps. Some champions are a bit map dependent, but you can go with this team composition on any map, and it will guarantee work. There really is no champion that can't do their job on any map at all.
That's a nice shot there on that rocket. Nice tracking from Vaz. Even though it's warm-up, it's nice to see players using that warm-up as the warm-up, right? Making sure they have that accuracy. So Lockbox could be the third map. Both teams, 1 map taken in this first to 3 map setting. 2 left to go for either team, and they will be the first world champions.
NOTOFAST, they've been able to break the streak. 2Z, by far the most dominant team in this entire World Championship. But they've just gone down a map. It's 1-1. Impossible to call. There is so much talent on both teams. Whoever wins this one, they have to fight for it. It's going to be Lockbox, one of the newer maps in the world of Quake. We're going to see.
Oh, hang on a minute, though. 2Z, they've actually swapped out the Nyx for Galena. This could be interesting.
Now, Zron does seem to sort of be the player on 2Z that goes with either the map-dependent pick or just the switch-up in general. The Anarchy, Slash, and Solag seems core. We almost see that every single game. If a champion gets switched, it does tend to be Zron that does it.
So there we go, that's important. NOTOFAST, again, managing to control the first obelisk, but also importantly in Sacrifice, we have to remember the first capture dictates what team goes for which obelisk. So if you can physically choose the obelisk you want to defend, you're leaving the enemy team with what's left, right? And it might not be the obelisk they initially wanted to get.
Now the quad damage goes in the hand of Zron, and on that topic, we've got to talk about Galena and how useful this champion can be on Lockbox. Close quarters, little twists and turns. Teleporters, unbelievably useful. All of these different tools are shut down by that totem. Galena can heal herself and allies with the totem, but if an enemy steps foot, they take 75 damage. And on a map like this, where you don't have time to check your surroundings, you have to dedicate to a teleporter, dedicate to a corner. You risk taking 75 damage on a totem, you're dead, and you risk giving up the soul.
It's also great as a counter to the team composition that NOTOFAST have brought to the table, because 3 of the 4 champions relatively squishy. I know Slash obviously has that 100 health, but still, you know, Anarchy and Nyx, both, if they have no armor and they walk on a totem, it's going to insta-kill them.
And we may see that put into use right here, but NOTOFAST, they've already got a fantastic lead. 23% versus 2Z's.
Oh, wow.
0 currently.
Getting a little bit too brave with the gauntlet there. Gets stopped dead in his tracks. Dies immediately. It's going to be a free capture for NOTOFAST again.
I mean, this is looking really good for NOTOFAST. They've been able to not only take the soul, but 30% already. They are collecting heads on this point.
NOTOFAST, this is that kind of defense we saw on the last round of the last map on Ruins of Sarnath, where they were just able to get the people here, and 2Z just weren't going in as a group, really trying to rush in one at a time. This is a team of amazing people that are just great at that 1v1 situation. There we go, sneaking through.
Silent Sep with the rocket jump to try and get out of that dangerous situation. That's a very common tactic, but Sturmy taking the self-damage and running away with that last-minute rail. And the rail gun on this map, one of the best weapons. You have so much vision in the middle of the map. You land one rail, the soul's down. Solag doesn't take that much damage through the acid. One very important note, but not well known by a lot of people.
Oh, and again, exchanging frags all over the place. 2Z managing to get the better of this little fight here. Natromi trying to take it through, but Faz takes him out.
Actually pops the injection and then dies. That's going to be gone for a good 40 seconds. With the account, there are going to be some hourglasses on the map, but 40 seconds is still a long time to have no ability ready on a map like this. Protection
is up, though. Who's going to get it? We've already seen how difficult it can be. Oh, no! Misses the jump! That's a disaster! The protection's still here, and it's going to go to Galena.
Now,
Tron able to salvage that mistake. 2Z almost missing out.
But check out that health and armor from Galena also. She's quite small, but she's got 100 health, 75 armor. She is deceivingly tanky, and now she's got protection. Oh, wait a minute! The suicide, no, tactical suicide.
I love it. He suicided to give the Soul Runner the protection. That was a beautiful decision, sacrificing himself so that his teammate who was holding the soul was able to pick it up to safely get it back. I love the play.
Masterful decision, and it's given them a chunk of percentage too. Latromi, he still has it. It's just run out now, but with the injection on hand, looking to try and even things out. The rest of his team to follow up, but NOTOFAST, they are kind of infesting this base right now.
They are, though, with 2Z. They had protections ran out, but they are still defending. Oh, Toxic with a nice rail.
Toxic really is being a thorn in their side. I know they're still climbing percentage, but he's just picking people off left, right, and center for the rest of NOTOFAST to follow up. Here comes Claws, up behind. Silent Sep, the acid kill, but he goes down by Noctis as well.
Soul in transit, but not going anywhere. 2Z have it exactly where they want it. They can drop it back off, but Noctis with a nice return frag with the rail. All except Noctis, they would pick it up too.
Anarchy on this map, lethal champion. I mean, the speed of which, especially when he has an injection, that he can go from one obelisk to another. I don't think there is any champion in the game that can keep up with him. Oh, death from above. Latromi, see you later.
Direct rocket on someone like Anarchy. Oh, Slash at least, that is going to hurt big time. But this is a great situation for NOTOFAST, holding on to this defense. All 4 of them here, ready and waiting to stop. But they are quite low though, the 4 of them, not very topped up on life.
Yeah, so we're going to take a couple of hits here and there to take him out, but there we go. Latromi starting at Silent Sep. You mentioned it, the health was very low. You don't really need to do a whole lot to finish these guys off. But here comes the power-up. In 15 seconds, this match is going to change.
Oh, all of NOTOFAST here, ready and waiting to stop him from escaping safely with the soul. NOTOFAST probably going to be able to drop it back off again. Toxic puts it down, but the power-up up in 5 seconds. Most likely going to go to 2Z unless they can get here first. C2Z waiting for it.
Here comes Sturmy. Oh! Gets hit by one, but not enough to survive long enough, unfortunately. Going in for the quad damage. 2Z have it. It's Ron with that tanky Galena. I would be very worried if I was NOTOFAST.
Doesn't have a totem though, but he is going to get a frag on Noctis. His teammates here to help him out. But all this time, delayed. Toxic manages to take him down, and the quad damage goes to Toxic, who has been so dangerous this entire round.
I love the efficiency of NOTOFAST. I mean, the second they acknowledge that, oh, that was just so violent. They acknowledge that when someone has quad damage, they are on it, just like a roach, all over. Make sure they're going to have to power up themselves, and now they've managed to take it back. Latromi, though, with the quad damage, they're going to try and start something here, but look at that divide between percentage. A lot of work for 2Z. They've got lots of percentage to make up for here. 5.5 minutes in, too. This has been quite a long round already.
Latromi did win that 1v1, but hasn't able to cover too much distance yet with the Soul, but he has got teammates here ready to try and get him through. All 4 of them, in fact, here. And that's going to be a frag through. Should be an easy capture now for 2Z. Now they have to hold it. NOTOFAST, 75%. They don't have anywhere near as much work to do. But we've seen how quickly that can close up.
Has definitely allowed NOTOFAST to try and run in as a group, but Latromi on 1 HP. Now, on the subject of his injection that he just popped, we've gone 6 minutes in. Anarchy has been able to pop enough injections that he goes up 1 HP on his max health every time he injects. He's now got over 80 HP by default. This means that with no armor and full health, Anarchy has gone from tanking 1 rail to 2. That is a game changer.
Still, though, is Ron missing that clutch rail actually has had a big disastrous effect. Look how many of NOTOFAST are here. That could have been one less defender or attacker going for it. But that one missed rail has had disastrous consequences.
Silent Step trying to do what he can, but here comes Toxic. He's going to make the run by the health, so he's going to survive the acid trail. It's going to do a huge amount of damage, though. You can see how many members of 2Z are trying to head him off. Toxic absolutely cannot survive that exchange, but so close. NOTOFAST Obelisk tries to pass it through. A bit of a weird exchange there. Faz taking the trade. He may take that one happily.
Still, though, we can see 2Z have the Soul, but they're nowhere near home base. Desperately trying to get through, but Toxic with a nice quick double with the lightning gun. Protection could be spawning any second. NOTOFAST, they're going to be able to drop it off.
Ooh, another telefrag. Sturmy's timing on that has been so on point. Unfortunately, didn't have enough health to survive. Silent Sep using the protection. He's now going to be the absolute defender on this Obelisk. And I feel like NOTOFAST, their objective is going to be to just waste that time, waste the power-up, because you really can't take it as long as that protection's in hand, and especially seeing as it's a Sorlag. Look at how many gauntlets he's taking and still survives. Sorlag, the eternal bully of this point.
That's also going to get 2Z a comfortable way to get through the Soul. We can see Latromi already covering all that distance. NOTOFAST only just respawning. They work together, they can do this. They're already here trying to stop, but again, 2Z here to defend as well. We're going to have a skirmish here on Obelisk B. Oh, Sturmy taken down.
Anarchy on Lockbox, not to be underestimated.
And this is just the first round of Lockbox 2. This has been so back and forth. 7 minutes and counting. Sturmy with a nice rail.
That's actually quite a nice little double there. Ron, very healthy, trying to use that Tri-Bolt to deny, and that really is the goal of the Tri-Bolt. Just pepper that damage outright. Use the splash damage to do as much damage as possible before you get a rocket launcher. Claws with the gauntlet.
Isn't quite able to cleanly go through the doorway, but I do believe his team are here trying to salvage it anyway. Claws gonna take it, but he's taking a lot of damage from behind. Dropping it back off again. 2Z getting closer and closer to tying this round up.
Very important asset for Slash. You noticed how much damage she did with that plasma trail. Not only does she get a massive speed boost, but you really can't just follow her tracks, because if you try and chase, you're probably gonna die.
Especially if you are as squishy as some of these champions are. Silent Step here. Bodygon now, 76. Now 2Z have the lead. Took him a while, but they have been able to salvage this one back together. 30 seconds away from the power-up as well. At this rate, we might even not see the next power-up, but there we go. Toxic, full speed ahead. Gonna ram himself through to try and take it down.
Now, there's plenty of members of NOTOFAST, but Claws and Latromi, they do manage to clean up. Latromi with another kill on Toxic. And the time it takes for these guys to respawn, that's like a guaranteed 5%. At this stage, you've got to be really worried about that Faz. He's going in full speed, but unfortunately just doesn't have the health. 2Z now, only 6% remaining to take this win on the round.
This is crucial. NOTOFAST, they will take the Soul, dies, but at least it's not on the point, so at least he's denying a few percentage. Oh, hang on a minute, though. Quad damage going to Claws. Our grand finalist Dueler, you do not want it in his possession, and he's going to get a frag for sure.
It's going to waste a little bit of time while he gets that health, because he can't risk losing the quad. But in this situation, Toxic, look at how weak he is. He just needs to deliver once, but here comes the quad damage. Claws with the double kill. That lightning gun is, I mean, I say self-proclaimed best in the world, but it is very much one of the absolute best in the world, and with quad damage, that is just lethal.
NOTOFAST, they were able to hold it for a little bit. Oh, gets taken out, though. Toxic with that gauntlet from behind. Do not think he was ready for Toxic to be there. This could go down to a 99% situation. NOTOFAST holding on to it. 9 minutes, 30 seconds in just this round. This is such a bloodbath back and forth. And again, 2Z able to take the Soul away.
And there's that safe passage going in for that injection. Not just putting Anarchy to full health, but the speed boost also. Look at how many many members of NOTOFAST they've tried to head them off, but Toxic just running into death. But wow, the detonation! The plasma trail, I mean, it destroys after death. Still have to be careful.
He landed at just the wrong time. The split second, but 2Z takes the percentage anyway. That's going to be the first round. 2Z managing to pull that one back.
It's hard to believe that was just round one. I mean, these rounds are going on for so long because they're fighting for it. Both of these teams want to take this one.
I actually think that was a crucial round for 2Z because that was such a disastrous start for them. Remember, NOTOFAST managing to get about 30-40%, almost uncontested right at the start. It looked like perhaps 2Z had started to not play as clean as we'd seen them, right? They were undefeated going into this grand final set. They have suffered their first map loss at the hands of NOTOFAST, and I thought maybe that momentum was a little bit too much for them to stop, but taking that round is going to be great for them, realizing they still can be dominant if they do get the right sort of game.
Oh, and that is absolutely going to be one dead Faz, a point-blank super shotgun on a chunky champion like Sorlag. I mean, not much you can do to prevent that damage.
All this could be great for NOTOFAST, able to stop it, and they get hold of it again. They manage to choose the obelisk, and they get a few percentage already stocking up.
Now, it sounds quite obvious, but I know they need to try and do the best they can to defend without 2Z being able to take the obelisk. Because the problem they've had is they're defending fantastically. The second 2Z takes it one single time, though, that is when NOTOFAST are struggling to recover. And there's the quad damage. But wow, Sturmy with the cleanup. Silent Sep picking up the quad damage, but goes down as well. And that's just the plasma trail claws with the finish. Who's going to get this quad first? Latromi, it looks like it's going to be no. Instead, Zron with the pickup.
There's damage coming through. We see NOTOFAST desperately trying to stop them from taking this one down. NOTOFAST able to bring up 14% before they lost it, but 2Z in a good position to capture themselves. But already NOTOFAST here, the quad damage gets traded off. Oh, and Toxic with that defense, but Claws able to salvage it again. It's still going to go the way of 2Z.
Now a little bit of a lead, but at this stage you can already see we're basically 10% in for 2Z. It's not going to be very difficult for them to undo all of that work that NOTOFAST have done, and then some. And here we go, NOTOFAST. They managed to take the obelisk earlier last time. They held it for much longer. Now 2Z have taken it way before. Are NOTOFAST going to be able to finally get that recovery? It's just the defense for 2Z has been so strong this whole map.
Indeed, but already starting off much earlier, less than 2 minutes in, 2Z now already in the lead. NOTOFAST looks like they were starting what they did before, but not quite sure if it's going to work this time.
And the thing
Silent
is,
Sep doing a lot of damage for his team overall, being such a star player.
and with 2Z, Plasma Trail and Acid
goodbye.
Spit. I know Acid Spit just got used, but with that combination, it's something that's hard to defend against, or attack against, I should say.
More of these frags being traded out back to this neutral situation. 2Z though, 40% and climbing every second. NOTOFAST can't bring this one back. It's going to be harder and harder. Silent Sep from behind, denying them taking it. Is able to take the soul away, just denying the percentage climbing, but still. Toxic here, Latromi manages to take him away.
NOTOFAST, they've been fantastic at actually taking the fight. The issue they've had is just delivering the soul. They're doing the hard work in terms of getting those frags on deck. They're able to make passage, but really 2Z, they're just one step ahead at all times. And that is the key of sacrifice. It's not just being able to attack the obelisk, but when the opponent has the advantage or they have the soul in hand, just prevent them as much as possible from taking it back.
God, these fights on the obelisk themselves have been so back and forth, just trading it out, but Silent Sep getting the quad damage. We're just talking about how much of an amazing fragger he has been this round. Give him quad, it's going to be all the worse.
And with heavy armor too, but actually didn't quite hit many of those machine gun blasts.
And his quad, you need 4 less bullets to kill.
But I think because he hit a little bit less, he took a bit of unnecessary damage right there.
All that nail gun, quad nail gun, goodbye Faz. Super nail gun indeed, but he's going to get taken down by Toxic anyway. Or flipped.
The longer this takes and the harder it is for NOTOFAST to get a hold of it, it's just the percentage, it's building up.
Claws able to survive that engagement. Sick flips all over the spot. Faz dying in the acid, isn't going to get damaged by it because he saw lag, but the lightning gun will still do plenty.
I mean, just look at how much work they're doing, 20%, and this map's going to be theirs. It's likely to be a 2-1 map situation, but NOTOFAST, Sturmy, he's going to try this off with the rail, but so much work to do.
It's just death to death. It doesn't stop, but this entire time, 2Z will be in the lead, but they have lost the soul at the very least. NOTOFAST have passed over to Noctis, but can he safely get through? That's what they've been struggling with at the moment.
It's been the running issue, but on Lockbox in particular, you have so many different ways you can make passage back to your obelisk. It can be quite unpredictable what route you take, but 2Z, they've just been on the money every single time. They know exactly where NOTOFAST want to retreat.
But look at how long Noctis has been holding it, but he hasn't been able to even get it out of 2Z's base. He tries to get through, but 2Z ready and waiting again. They intercept him on the way through.
I mean, they've just been a thorn in NOTOFAST's side. Every single time it feels like NOTOFAST might make a comeback. 2Z just snuff it immediately.
But this is the game plan we saw from him in the first map, which was so dominant. They were able to just deny any form of freedom of movement from NOTOFAST.
A nice, respectable amount of damage, but 2 versus 1, not much you can do. Claws, no, actually, and Faz, unfortunately, fumbles the soul toss there. That's going to waste a couple of seconds.
A couple of seconds can be all it takes, unfortunately. Every mistake matters this late in. Sidestep 6 health, but can he drop it off? Yes, he can.
Now, the important thing was he was able to go for the drop-off. And now, with that power-up spawning once more, it's going to be protection. But 2Z with protection, Anarchy with protection is one of the most dangerous champions in the game. And Latromi, he just needs to sit on this point. 7% more, and there's plenty of protection left to go. This might be a win for 2Z.
Still the Latromi. It's 2Z that have this protection. Most of his teammates down. We see Claws just respawn. They're going to have the manpower if they need it. And again, NOTOFAST struggling to safely get it through. This really has been what it's boiled down to. 2Z have just been ready and waiting to stop them from moving anywhere they can.
Just amazing positioning. Nice awareness of where you know your opponent is likely to run away. And when they're trying to deliver the soul, you just look at the health. Toxic, he was on 30 a minute ago. He's sitting on 2. Realistically, what is he going to be able to do here to drop off the soul? He's going to die, and there we go. The suicide, but he trades out with claws. That's better than nothing.
It is indeed. That could have been a disastrous situation. Stomy able to get it. I do believe he should be able to drop this off. Yes, he can. Now, this could be the turnaround.
Yeah, all 4 members of NOTOFAST, and with plenty of time left before that power-up spawns too. They need to stick together if they can, but speaking of sticking together, every member of 2Z making the attack. They're going in towards the base now. Can they finish it?
Claws as the first casualty. Faz soon to follow. Ron getting a double kill with a rail, picking off from a distance. The Tromi falls too.
Now that Ghost Walk, re-emerge, fantastic cheeky kill, but just surrounded. Sturmy cannot survive that one.
I don't know about this. It looks like 2Z, they have the soul. How far can they get it through? But no, NOTOFAST able to hold on to it. Toxic, that defender, 2 of them coming in from above.
Toxic's defense has been on point this whole map. Like, he's landed really crucial rails. He's getting those important corners. So just situations where he needs to get a kill, he gets it. He hasn't been choking. I know maybe commentator's curse, but hopefully we won't see that soon.
Claws by himself trying to stop this off. He's probably going to die, but at the very least stops the progression from NOTOFAST. He will drop it off quite easily, but again, 2Z here. What a rail. Faz managing to save the team.
I mean, they could definitely make this comeback. Zron surprised on that jump pad, but believe it or not, it's already been 55 seconds. This power-up is just about to spawn, and it's going to be quad. NOTOFAST need to seize this quad. I mean, I know Claws has taken it, but when he runs in for that base, he needs to make sure he loses that quad first.
I mean, to be fair, nothing says surprise quite like a point-blank direct rocket, but that is going to do the job. Claws has the soul. This could be bad news for NOTOFAST. Claws has quad, has passed the soul over to a teammate. He is just trying to be the sole defender to protect him through the way. Soul drops down, though, but this is still bad for them. 2Z. More than on the way.
Funnily enough, surviving with 30 HP because he ran through a Galena totem on the way there. I mean, Galena, very dangerous on this map for a reason. The totem's not only being good for you, but good for your team. 4 HP, I mean, so nearly
It's
dead.
going up. They still have it. 97%, 98, 99, 1 left.
This is so close. 1% more, and they've managed to achieve it. It's a 2-1 situation for 2Z. They are 1 map away from taking the Quake World Championships for Sacrifice.
1 map away from earning an extra $150,000. Everything rides on this next map. 2Z needed to win. NOTOFAST needed to just tie things up. We're talking about the match for stamina and forced to play at your best on every map in the game. We are playing on the 4th and final map next, which will be Blood Covenant.
Well, I mean, it could be quite easy in some ways to count a team out in this situation, but if NOTOFAST have shown us anything, is that they are not to be underestimated. They looked really strong in a couple of those rounds. It just came down to the fact that 2Z were able to simply just edge that one out a little bit. But again, this was a map that they selected, and they lost it. When they went on a map that 2Z selected, they won quite solidly to boot. So
I think a big part of it, though, was setup. That really is what it boiled down to for them, was when 2Z were able to hold on to the soul, but in a way that they could position themselves properly. I think positioning is mainly what it boiled down to, when they can hold onto the obelisk, but position themselves just outside. We talk about this quite often in Sacrifice, because it's something that not every team does, because it's probably quite difficult to really have that foothold, really hold on to that positioning. But when you put yourselves just outside of the obelisk you're defending and you don't let them get anywhere near inside, if one person does break through, all three can sort of collapse back in. And if at any point they manage to steal the soul from you, you're still spawning in the way, right? You're still in the way of the opposing team, which is what they're doing so well.
Just nice level of awareness, knowing that even if you go down, because if you get fragged near your own obelisk when they take the soul off you, you tend to respawn a little bit closer towards the enemies when you kind of spawn within the middle of the map. And in some ways, depending on the weapon that you spawn next to, that might be a bit of a blessing in disguise, because you're going to spawn a bit closer to the obelisk than the opponent will, even though they took you out at your soul location. So really, you have to do the most you can with the life that you have.
I mean, when you really look at it now, though, one single map can win 2Z an additional $150,000, bringing their grand prize up to $300,000 and that beautiful trophy you can see in front of you right now. Only one team can claim it, and 2Z have one map left to go. It's going to be Blood Covenant. What can they do? That really is the question.
Well, I think both of these players have been really comfortable on this map. And before we get this match underway, I'm going to throw you guys over to the analyst desk to have a quick discussion before we go into Blood Covenant.
Good birthday gift, Machiavelli, this series, this matchup here?
You know, it is surreal that, I haven't been in QuakeCon in such a long time, and when I come back, the grand finals happens to be on my birthday. So yeah, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Watching all these great players play, it really is a pleasure.
Currently, we are sitting at a 2-1 situation with, of course, 2Z ahead. I want to talk a little bit about tactics, right? Like, I mean, watching two teams playing at what I would consider the highest caliber that is available right now on Team Sacrifice, I still feel like 2Z has one leg up over their opponents when it comes to specifically how they are constantly positioned on the map. And, like watching them and going through and rolling through some of those 2-0 wins, you see it, but when it's consistent across every single one of their games, always having someone on the defending point, 3 people here, splitting into 2s, coming all back and being 4s. And we see it out of all the teams, but so consistently and so regularly out of 2Z, I really am so impressed with them in this finals. You got anything to say about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many times on Lockbox do we see it where there was like one 2Z player on the power-up and nobody else was around because there were so many other fights happening elsewhere on the map? It was like all of the bandwidth of their opponents were just taken up by every other fight, and sometimes it's like there's a quad up, there's a protection coming up, and you're going to see that quad of protection like being used purely for defense from TZ, and that turns into the ability to have just like all these frag videos happening in these team modes, which is what you kind of look for. You look for those moments for each of these players to shine individually, and just kind of go on a rampage, and 2Z has been getting their fill there. Yeah, the positioning by 2Z, as you very impressive. You can see not too fast, having some issues getting the soul back into their zone because of positioning a guy there ahead of time. It's very interesting. It's like they have a guy in defense, they have a guy in offense, protecting the enemy obelisk, and then they have 2 harassers just running around, just destroying people. And as Jahar pointed out, these guys are running around causing so much havoc that by the time the power-up spawns, you're like, oh no, wait, you're trying to steal the soul. And it's like, wait, we got to organize for power-up, but they're putting so much pressure on you constantly. It makes it very difficult. It's impressive.
Yeah, even on Ruin, which is the map that NOTOFAST won, like there was the point in which NOTOFAST was way ahead, right? But that didn't stop 2Z from still trying to win the matchup, and they had that solid like 20% hold there. And even then, you can see them like positioning and taking risks. And then granted, like it didn't work out for him right there, but to know that we've got to lock down potentially 90% and then kind of like set themselves up for it. I've been really impressed with both these teams. I think 2Z is certainly showcasing. If anyone wants to like put together a Team Sacrifice team, these are the games that you should be watching. Like the fundamentals can be learned right here.
From NOTOFAST as well. I mean, what else could we ask for out of a final? We have a team who has not, lost a round, lost a map so far, and of course we're going into a third map, and it might go to 4 or even 5.
It could, and I mean at this point I would be thinking that 2Z is like, okay, we need to close this out for Claws, right? Because like if we have to play another potentially 4 rounds on top of it, that could be pretty rough. So let's kind of do a breakdown. I think we have some replays here from game number 1 that we could take a look at, and a lot of back and forth kind of taking place. And you mentioned the power-up control, and sometimes like that going unanswered. I think both teams have certainly used the power-ups the way it's absolutely intended, but where it also gets interesting is like those grabs where the power-up has just run out and you've just gotten the obelisk, right? Or you're just holding it down. And in those situations, like both teams have excelled. Like neither has needed the power-up as a crutch. It is typically one way that they either get more percentage or are taking over a point. But I've never, like, I can't say that one team has been hurt as a result of the lack of their power.
Well, that's maybe not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And you know, experienced Quake player as you are, you know, you can't give up too many power-ups. You want to make sure you secure the power-up.
You can't ignore them, right?
You can't. You just can't ignore them. And looking at the lineup from 2Z, I mean, do you want a quad in any of those guys' hands? And same with Not Too Fast. It's like you do not want these guys running around with quad protection, certainly not stacked. So it's important to organize as your team, and it could come back to haunt you. Maybe it works out for you in a round or two where maybe you make that calculated risk of, you know what, we need to steal the soul instead of going for the power-up. But you got to be very careful with doing that with these teams because all the players are so talented. They go on a quad run, they might not wipe your team once. They might do it twice.
Well, and I mean, I think talk about the decision-making that happens there, right? Do we go power-up? Do we go soul? Do we grab it? You know, there's a lot of interesting situations where you'll see the players say, not cap right away because they know that they don't have the defense to be able to hold it. And of course, you cap and immediately that alerts the other team like, hey, go kill these guys. Those types of little intricacies that I'm seeing, I think is what really sets apart these pro-level players from like, if I just jumped in and started playing. As
chaotic as Sacrifice is, if you can manage to get the grab on an enemy soul while the power-up is coming up, you know, you've taken your enemy's attention and you split it. You know, we should be on quad or protection, but also there's an anarchy running away with the soul. Where do we go? We don't exactly know where the anarchy is going to go with the soul. He might not cap it immediately, like you said, and it ends up being a really tough thing. Of course, you know, making that go in the first place, never all that easy, but these guys have been doing it consistently.
And you can't second guess those decisions. You know, you said yesterday, even when we were talking about the duels, like you have milliseconds to make those decisions. Right. When you have 7 other people affecting, you know, what's going on in the game, and then, you know, 3 of those people are teammates, those decisions not only affect you and what's going to happen, but also the entire team and the flow of the game.
Yeah, Quake very much. You just don't have time to sit there and think about what you're going to do. Right or wrong, I always make the point, you need to trust yourself a little bit. And if you recognize something as a player, you just need to go with your instincts sometimes and make the play that you think is right. And if it's wrong, learn from it. You know, that's part of the experience. But holding yourself back in some way and questioning yourself, that's not going to help you play any better, certainly. And if you see at the duelers, and especially in some of these games and team games, you see the decisions to rocket jump or something and to get aggressive and push. It's within a millisecond. They're just going. They don't sit there and think about it. They just go, and it's impressive to watch. And for any newer players who are trying to learn, I would recommend just trust yourself and play.
Well, $300,000, and that beautiful trophy right there is what is on the line. It sounds like we're about ready to get back into the action here for the Sacrifice Grand Final. Let's kick it back to Ketchup and Mustard.
Guys, and I mean, really, that is the reality. This could be the final map. This could be championship map. But no too fast. I mean, they've been able to break the streak. Can they make it 2-2 and bring us into a game 5?
Well, we went into this thinking that it could possibly be a 3-0 sweep, but that is the exact opposite of what we're seeing so far. But you have to put it into perspective, right? How many individual matches of Sacrifice have both of these teams played since they first started playing Quake Champions to now? One single of those matches now separates them between 300K and 150.
But I mean, while this match goes into the warm-up phase, I really want to say, you know, timing. That was a discussion that was just had on the analyst desk. And that's something that No2Fast are famous for because of their experience, years of experience with team-based modes. They don't just time things like power-up, they time every single item in the game and are communicating that. Which means that if you can time every item, you know how to deny it from your opponents. And that is one thing. It has to be a choke-based game plan. Make sure that they cannot get going. Smother the enemy team. And they've been doing it really well up until this point.
That is how they won the rounds, but 2Z, with their adjustment of their own, they have been just this unstoppable force going into this grand finals until they came up against No2Fast. So it very much is still all to play for. We'll have to wait and see how this goes. This could be the last map, or we could go down to a map 5. Regardless, it's going to be Blood Covenant 2 times back-to-back at the very least.
Now, Blood Covenant, I mean, don't really...
I mean, also, look at that trophy. Just look at that trophy.
I mean, I could literally look at that trophy for hours. It looks like a lethal weapon.
I mean, one of them gets to. One of them will literally be able to stare at it to their heart's content.
Well, now... Blood Covenant. I mean, this is a bit of an interesting map on Sacrifice. It has got a railgun on it, but to be honest, you don't really see that weapon get used a huge amount. It's because it's so close quarters, it's so fast-paced, with the exception of perhaps maybe the location near the rail location itself, the obelisk kind of right next to that. You do see a couple of points there where someone will try and establish a bit of distance and pick someone off at range, but realistically, 2Z, I mean, they've been a big fan of just using the LG all the way on this map.
So let's talk about the champion compositions they've been bringing to the table. So from NOTOFAST, it has been that tried and true Sorlag, Anarchy, Nyx, and Slash. And that's the same composition we saw 2Z go for in map 1, but then we saw them forego it, actually, for Galena instead for Lockbox. Do you think Zron is going to be sticking back to that Nyx pick we saw before, or maybe trying something different? Because we see a lot of potential champions on Blood Covenant specifically.
I definitely think that if we're on Blood Covenant and Zron has a really dangerous Nyx, which we know he does, I kind of expect to see it. This is very much so a Nyx map. The double jump just allows her to go wherever she wants to go, because commanding the high ground, even on Sacrifice, that sort of high ground where many of the important power-ups lie, if you can sort of navigate the top of that, if you are next, you've got that double jump, you can go wherever you want to go. If you have the soul, it means you can be a little bit more unpredictable with how you make that track back and forth with the soul in hand. I mean, it's just a map that fits that champion like a glove, and I'd be surprised if we didn't see it.
So there it is. Current map score, 2-1. 2Z lead to 2. NOTOFAST with the 1. And for those of you that literally just joined us, this is the grand finals for Sacrifice 4v4 at the Quake World Championships at QuakeCon 2017. 2Z have been unstoppable going into this grand finals until they met with NOTOFAST, who made them suffer their first map loss of this entire tournament.
I mean, it's 2-1, but NOTOFAST made them fight for it on Lockbox. It just came down to a couple of decisions at the very end, and 2Z just being on the ball. Their defense has been impeccable. When they've finally been able to seize the soul away from NOTOFAST, it's been very hard to crack into them. And to remind everybody, you know, the Duel and Sacrifice, they're two game modes that have been massive in the World Championship, and many of these players qualified in both game modes. You know, Faz, Noctis, Toxic, they all made it through in the Duel Cup. And on the flip side, we have Claws on 2Z, who lies in wait in the grand finals of Duel. I mean, if you win Sacrifice and Duel, that is a huge payday for one day of video games.
As you can see, Zron with his red Nyx in the wings, but there it is, that's Claws. That's that young Quake prodigy right now, waiting in grand finals for Duel and here in grand finals for Sacrifice. This could be one rich Quake player by the end of today, but depends on how this goes. You know, at minimum, he's walking away with a ton of cash, but the maximum he can walk home with is colossal through both Sacrifice and Duel.
I really feel like this has been a fantastic story. You know, that story of old versus new. I know some people could maybe get sort of worried picking up Quake or learning Quake because there's so many talented players out there. You wonder if you're just going to get demolished by the legends in the game. But I really feel like Claws, I mean, he's a legend in the making. Already achieved some of that status, I think, being in grand finals for both tournaments for champions. But proving that just because you're a young player, that doesn't mean you have a disadvantage against the best the world has to offer. You can be the exact same.
But, you know, speaking of legends, NOTOFAST, you know, they've got the likes of Toxic, Faz, you know, the list goes on. This is a European dream team, is NOTOFAST. We've got some team mode legends, world-class duelers with decades, I believe we saw on the analyst desk, 60 years of combined Quake experience on the side of this one team, which is probably why it wasn't a huge surprise to see them be the team to really bring it to 2Z. This is probably the one team here out of this entire championship that had the chance to stop 2Z in their tracks and maybe try and really bring it to them.
NOTOFAST have been demolishing people in Quake Champions since E3. I know when the game was very first sort of displayed in a competitive setting, many of the players kind of flown in, like, you know, Rafa, Dahang, players within the crowd itself. Many of the European players were all flown in. They were just kind of playing show matches, you know, sacrifice matches, duel matches. Every single member of NOTOFAST were just smashing everybody. But here they are in the grand finals, and this could very much be the final map. But we'll see if NOTOFAST can make things 2-2.
It's going to be the fourth map, the same champion composition back-to-back again. It's going to be Sorlag, Slash, Nyx, and Anarchy on the side of both of them. It really has been that tried and true, most consistent composition of all the champions have seen so far. And this is what NOTOFAST are betting their potential last map on the success of.
And past the recent maps, I think NOTOFAST have been absolutely fantastic at taking the soul first. Almost every single round we've seen them deliver the soul where they want it to go. And just to remind everyone, being able to choose what obelisk you control when you get the soul first, I mean, that really does set the tone for the rest of the match. Here comes the quad already. Claws with the quad damage. The soon-to-be potential champion of Duel with the quad damage. I mean, that's a dangerous combination.
There's a quad damage plasma trail, though, managing to avenge his team. Noctis goes down. Looks like 2Z able to start building up this percentage on this first round, map 4. Still Claws with a little bit quad damage left to go, but Toxic puts a stop to that, and Faz with the frag as well. It'll be a great chance for NOTOFAST to really bring this Soul back.
There's a really nice amount of that quad damage left to go. Faz, no doubt, going to stick with the rest of the team. Claws just stuck in the worst situation you could be in. I mean, it's nice and healthy Sorlag. Quad damage gets to go. Zron goes down as well. That's dangerous.
NOTOFAST almost able to drop it off, but there were 2Z waiting to stop him. And again, NOTOFAST being careful. They're not just blindly rushing in, trying to put the Soul back on. They can't afford to be that careless.
Atrobi getting a couple of really important frags. I know NOTOFAST are still looking really good to deliver the Soul, but he just wasted a couple of precious seconds by getting those 2 LG kills back then. As you can see, only just delivered the Soul, and NOTOFAST with the lead once again.
Silent Zep was there with that Sorlag, that patented Silent Zep. Sorlag just reappears with a point-blank super shotgun. Hello.
I mean, that was just rude, really. Just reappearing in front of Sorlag, blasting him off the ledge as well. I mean, wrecked. Oh, drops the Soul, but Claws is almost dead anyway, so I don't think he's too upset about that. Goes down regardless. I mean, 14 health, not much he can do there.
This has been a great round for NOTOFAST. They're losing a lot of frags, but it doesn't really matter. So far, they are currently in the lead, contesting the Soul, though, and it does get taken off the Obelisk, and Silent Zep manages to sneak it away.
Very weak, though. That's the danger. Noctis just standing in the doorway. Not only body blocking, but just doing a guaranteed rocket. You can't do any less than 75 from that range.
But that's good, though. Claws able to sneak the Soul through, managing to drop it off. Already, though, NOTOFAST here trying to stop it back. 13%, 23. Suicide, but trading out the frag in the favor of 2Z, though, as they are holding onto the Obelisk.
There's quite a lot of rocket launchers right there. If you collect that, you've got a nice chunk of ammo.
Protection up any second now, though. We can see NOTOFAST here in force trying to stop it. There's the exchange. All the protection goes the way of 2Z, but very low is Ron. Toxic's going to take him down.
Yeah, just completely unable to take that 3 versus 1. Normally, when you've got protection, you can really take on an entire team, depending on your champion. But when you've got all members of NOTOFAST just focusing fire on you by yourself, you are going to die there. But Toxic, a little bit healthy, but getting melted down with LG, not able to tank all that damage. Ron with the pickup once more.
Lost the protection in the progress, and look how much protection is left. This is an amazing situation for 2Z. Now they are in the lead and have plenty of protection left to go, and it goes to Zron, no less. You see how dangerous Nyx can be. Already hard enough to kill with that Ghost Walk, and when you throw in that massive damage mitigation, it gets oh so much more difficult.
And the entirety of 2Z with the defense. We mentioned this time and time again. Actually, a nice little catch there from Faz, but with plenty of members with 2Z, it's still a lot of work to do. But we mentioned the ability for 2Z to just defend. Some of the absolute best defenders in this game right now. Oh, melted away. Sturmy. Just going down.
Almost deceiving damage how much the Super Nail can put out if you do get a nice sequence of them back to back. But Toxic runs in out of nowhere, full speed ahead.
Toxic just doesn't care with that plasma trail. He just goes as fast as the game will physically let him allow. And you can see here, most of the time, his opponent just isn't ready for him to go as fast. He just slips into the back, takes a couple of heads, and then just harasses the base.
Defending 4 minutes in, 75%, 3/4 of the round done. 2Z have almost taken the first round of what could be the final map in this grand final, but Sturmy with a super shotgun trying to put a stop to that. 2Z now approaching 80%, getting so much closer.
Bit of a tall order for NOTOFAST at this stage, and you can just see how often as well 2Z are just constantly standing on this Obelisk. They are not interested in going anywhere else. It's going to be on the Obelisk or nowhere. Wow, nice check on the rocket for Noctis as well, and there we go, 10% left. 2Z looking really good in this round right now,
Awkward time coming up though, 15 seconds from the power up, but that will not spawn in time if 2Z hold on to the Obelisk. NOTOFAST, they have no choice. They must contest this Obelisk. If they don't, 2Z will win the round for free. 3% left to go. There's the contesting, but the plasma trail comes out from Claws to deny it, and there we go. Claws with a triple kill, practically guaranteeing the round by himself, and he will take it. 2Z now on tournament points.
Silent Zep saving that acid spit for the magical moment, and the magical moment was right at the end when everyone tried to pile in. That was so much damage on so many small little champions.
I think that was a perfect end to that round. We've been talking about all at Championship, how dangerous it can be if you combine the slash plasma trail damage with the explosion and just the lingering damage it does by itself and the Sorlag acid. Put those together and you have a no-fly zone. You will die if you stand here, and that's what they used together to take that round. Now they are a tournament point on being the first ever world champions for Sacrifice.
We've mentioned it before, history in the making. That's what this is. 2Z just need one more round. The Soul about to spawn once again.
I mean, there's hindsight, right? It takes 2.5 minutes of total time to capture the Obelisk. 2Z could be minutes away from being the world champions, but NOTOFAST, they're going to know that, and they managed to control the first Obelisk. They've gone for A this time. Can they defend this one better?
But it's not just a matter of controlling the obelisk, it's the fact that the power-up spawns so early. 5 seconds away, the first quad of the map is going to spawn. Looking likely that NOTOFAST might collect it. They're looking to seize this one. Noctis probably going to pick this one up. Doesn't want to be a bit too obvious because there are rockets being peppered. The quad, double kill. Looking to make it a triple, but hang on. Here comes Ron behind. Noctis definitely didn't see him, but no, he didn't pursue it.
So at the very least, though, Noctis with an amazing killing spree with that quad damage to really start this momentum going. NOTOFAST.
He's got the injection as well. He can give himself as much health as he wants in a few seconds if he's in danger with that quad damage too, but a nice start for NOTOFAST.
A much better start. Only I'd say 18%, but a much nicer start than before. Oh, Latromi gonna get taken down immediately. Noctis, that quad damage just lasted so long, and he took the most out of it.
Here comes Claws, just bullying his way onto the point, and again, the plasma trail forcing Noctis away from the point. The ticking damage of the acid. Noctis had to try and retreat in that situation.
And here we go, these trading out frags, these team fights going the way of NOTOFAST. They still have the obelisk, 30% now. This lead is getting greater and greater. I mean, NOTOFAST, they're playing like their tournament lives are on the line, and that's exactly what's happening here. This is the most important round they've played of this game mode so far.
Forced to use the injection, but the amount of injections he's used already, very soon we're going to see that go beyond 80 HP, which means that Anarchy can once again start tanking rails.
Now Noctis unfortunately committing suicide. Claws here trying to mop up a Toxic, runs in at full speed again with the slash. Trying to deny NOTOFAST, 50% now, already half of the work is done.
If they can take this round 100-0, that is exactly how you stop momentum. It's a lot of work to do, but half of it well over, done already. Almost 60% before we can even talking about it. 2 minutes in, Mustard, and 60% has already been obtained.
But it kind of looks like 2Z are starting to trickle in now, 1 or 2 at a time, and it looks like NOTOFAST are here ready to defend, and Noctis with another frag. 2Z just don't have the manpower.
Here comes Ron, though, on the warpath up top. And again, this is Nyx. She navigates that high ground better than most.
I actually love that movement, too. They managed to sneak in the soul and very quickly pass it back. Now, NOTOFAST, however, 60% progress. That is a brilliant way to get that lead. 2Z have their work out to even things up at the very least.
Oh, here comes a sneaky's Ron. Oh, wow, so many of them went down. Look at how many super nails just dished out madness in that situation.
Mad bodies full of nails, little dolls.
Here we go. Quad damage, Claws. He's starting the kill streak.
Oh, blimey, Claws, though, bringing out the damage with the quad again. You said right, Claws is almost a world champion dueler. You do not want him to be holding on to quad damage.
Sturby picked off starter machine gun. Lethal in the hands of a quad damage holder.
Still the 2Z, half the progress, 30% in one capture. This is exactly what they need to do to bring this back. This is still tournament point for 2Z.
Just to remind everyone once more, 2.5 minutes of total capture time. That's all you need. If they can 100-0 this sequence, they may be the champions. But look at NOTOFAST making the trail back here, trying to fight for it.
I think that was as close to the floor is lava as you can visibly get in this game. Acid all over the place, plasma trail from Slash. However, though, 2Z holding on, Noctis getting a nice frag on Silent Step. We can see 2Z here trying to contest, but NOTOFAST are here in force. 2Z here again trying to stop it. Faz get a kill. Zron taking out Faz, though. NOTOFAST. They have the soul at the very least.
In a very
safe to get it back.
In a very small space of, oh my days, just knocked down into the basement where you've just got a gauntlet-wielding Claws lying in wait. I mean, that was just painful.
Oh, Faz managing to take him out. Silent Step taking out Faz. Toxic with a plasma trail running in again. Max speed trying to bring it out.
Now, 50 to 60% in a very small amount of time. 2Z have done a nice chunk of percentage to compete with NOTOFAST.
This is great, though. NOTOFAST out of that chaos, out of that exchange. They were able to get hold of the obelisk. Now adding to this time, though, 2Z that one capture, 50%. This is much more even than we initially thought.
I mean, Faz, at that point beforehand, he was just a one-man army there, standing on the point. In many ways, the only one on the point. Latromi forced to use his injection, running into complete death with that plasma trail.
There was just nowhere for Latromi to go there. He was standing on the trail, no movement, however, to dodge. It was just painted all over the place. Easy frag. But Claws, though, nice rocket jump, going to get it through. Yeah, that was actually quite a comfortable capture too.
Yeah, it's a comfortable capture because the power-up has just spawned, unfortunately, because there was no Claws to contest. NOTOFAST, Faz with the protection, Sorlag with protection is one of the last champions you want to deal with that power-up.
No fear coming out of Faz, running in as fast as he can, knowing he has that protection, taking a lot of damage, but is able to get the soul. There's a tanky champion, going to be hard. Every single health or armor pickup he can get is going to make him just that much harder to kill. And he's able to safely get back through to his own obelisk, but there's the body block.
Silent Step walking right in front of him. Unfortunately, Faz was unable to deliver it, but they have been able to drop it off. The percentage, it climbs once more, but still, roughly 10%. 74 versus 61. If 2Z get it now, they can still pull this one back.
However, on the flip side, NOTOFAST, if they could hold it, they can definitely bring this back to 1 round apiece. We are by no means having an obvious finish to this at the moment, but they have managed to take the soul away. Silent Step with maximum, wow, the distance in the air.
I mean, hard to pin down.
Sick air, bro.
100 health as well. I mean, just he's going to get surrounded.
Although
Here comes Sturmy behind.
attempt.
Oh, I think he was actually completely ready for it. Doesn't matter either way. Noctis with the cleanup. A nice amount of frags there. 3. Zron trading out with Noctis also. There we go. 79 versus 71. 2Z are bringing this one back. If they win this round, they're going to be the champions. 25%. This could be championship 25%.
We are closely getting through 40 seconds away from the power-up. That's not going to help them here. 80%, 2Z, 20% away from being the world champions. If seconds left.
If NOTOFAST are able to get access to the soul now and just leave it in limbo to prevent that percentage from climbing, then maybe the power-up's going to be a choice. But unfortunately now, while it continues to climb, this power-up's not going to be an option. They have to pile in right now. 10% left.
9, 8, it is going down. We can see 2Z here. They're looking for it. So close to being the champions. 5% left.
They're just piling in. Noctis, he's going to try and get a couple of frags. Takes the soul. Sturmy with a gauntlet as well. Goes out by a rocket. Here comes the power-up. 5 seconds left as well. Noctis, he's delivering the soul. Now, the power-up becomes a threat.
He has to put soul. Wins that 1v1, the crucial 1v1. Ladromi goes down. Noctis able to keep his team alive. But they're here all together trying to bring this back. NOTOFAST, 85%.
Here comes Ron with a quad damage. Plenty of teammates left. They're going to have to make safe passage back to their obelisk with 4% left and a quad damage. I mean, a fitting number, really.
However, Toxic would get 2 of those plasma trail kills. He's not going to get through safely. Noctis takes him out.
But here comes Silent Step, that unsung hero of a defender. He might make the final play. Look at how many members of NOTOFAST are waiting for him. Ladromi, he's trying to pile through, but the defense, NOTOFAST not letting them go anywhere.
Quad damage just ran out, though. NOTOFAST are not going to have that trump card anymore. Noctis, though, it is Anarchy. But they're ready here, waiting to intercept him. He manages to sneak through, though. A teammate waiting to pick it up, but there we go. The damage coming through. He drops.
But, I mean, Ladromi and Dron all behind Toxic. He's going to try and defend as much as he can, but look, 3 frags down. They're going to have to respawn and gun it straight for the location, but fresh off the spawn, they've got no weapons to contest.
That's exactly what they're looking for. They're here. Noctis, this is exactly what NOTOFAST need to do. The teamwork now is beautiful. Always where they need to be. Know exactly how close they are on the verge of elimination.
Silent Step and Dron, though, they're on the absolute warpath here. This is still too close to call. NOTOFAST, they've delivered the soul, but for how long? They have 10% left. Ladromi goes down. This could be the start of a comeback. They
Less
need this
than
round.
10%, almost 5, 94.
I mean, 95.
95.
They're going to tie things up in 1 more percent. They've done it, and they've taken the lead. 2 more percent is necessary to win the round.
1 more, a few seconds left in it. Are they going to do it? There's the contention. Silent Step.
This could be the last minute. They've done it! NOTOFAST have managed to tie things up 1 round each. 2Z have to fight another round.
4% were in it. They were merely 8 seconds away from elimination, but they are able to bring it through. There is that experience and that just level-headedness shining through, going down to a round 3 in this 4th map.
That's what experience will do for you as a player. I mean, if you're on the back foot, you are 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds away from tournament elimination. But you can keep the cool head that you need. I mean, NOTOFAST.
Imagine the sheer degree of pressure they are under right now in this exact situation after all that back and forth. Round 3 begins fresh, and they are straight back in it. No slowing down here. I mean, no time to collect their thoughts. We are going straight into the final round.
You don't have time to be relieved because you've now got an entire round to play through, and already the action has begun. The soul is still in transit, though. Who's going to deliver?
That first capture, though, always so crucial. Who's it going to go towards? That really is the question. Looks like 2Z have it, though. He's going to get it. Ladromi, they're trying to stop him, but not in time. Ladromi able to capture Obelisk A himself, and now already that percentage is racking up. And they have the quad damage. This is not the start that NOTOFAST needed.
But on the flip side, 2Z couldn't have asked for a better result. They've been able to deliver the soul. They've got access to quad damage, plenty of quad damage to boot. And even though you're going to take the same amount of damage, Silent Step with a max stack on that health, he is nice and healthy to collect heads.
I mean, what a perfect potential end, though. 2Z versus NOTOFAST, old versus new. I know most of 2Z have been playing Quake for a while, but just the sheer level of experience on the side of NOTOFAST, this really is a match of who can play better now.
Here comes Sturmy up behind. But I mean, Silent Step, he's got so much health. Sturmy, though, managed to take it. Oh, wow!
Beautiful shot from Zron.
Clean rail from Zron right there. Takes out Faz as well. Just an iron wall of a defense. Noctis finally takes him out.
Plasma Trail, though, Toxic running in as fast as possible, trying to contest They have managed to at least get the soul in transit, but Claws manages to get it straight back. Throws it back towards, but you do have to physically walk towards the obelisk. You can't throw the soul at it. You have to actually touch it yourself.
40% already. I mean, we're not even 2 minutes in, and 2Z have a substantial lead.
Oh, wins that 1v1 silent set. Just saved his team from a lot of percentage. Already starting to climb up again. Power up can be away for at least another 40 or so seconds. Stunning jumps down, but Toxic. Still though, 50% halfway through. This could be the round for 2Z after such a close back and forth. 2Z are just mauling in this round.
It's like they've just woken up. They've realized how close they are to this victory, and they are using their own experience within the World Championships to go, right guys, we can take this. And they're trying to seize it as close as possible. This is a dominant round so far. NOTOFAST managed to bring it back for Claws with the double kill on the Plasma Trail.
Oh, and he's going to bring it back. Absolute denial. Claws, no, misses the throw. Bounces off the archway. It's going to give NOTOFAST a chance back in, but the body block again. That big fat lizard in Silent Zep.
It's not just a matter of the damage output and the speed. She is a chunky character in this game. She stands in the doorway, you can't get through. Silent Zep tries to again, but a little bit too much damage coming out of NOTOFAST for that to work. Here comes the quad damage.
Still though, look at that percentage. Quad might be in the way of NOTOFAST. If Noctis can make the most of this the way we've seen before, he will do amazing things to bring this back, but 54, that is going to be a hard one to even out with.
He was vulnerable to a rail up until he got that heavy armor, and now he's going to be nice and brave, pushing towards eliminating Claws. Eliminating Claws from a fight, I mean, he really is one of those star fraggers of this team. Getting rid of him, very important.
However though, speaking of which, Sron able to take it, but dies immediately. Toxic takes him out. Nice target priority. Oh, sneaking him from behind is the acid.
Now the defense comes through. NOTOFAST, 20% already. Toxic, unbelievably weak. He's got to be careful, Sron, with the finish on that super shotgun, and 3 frags down. Probably going to get hold of this soul. They have to try and bring it back safely. NOTOFAST, more than aware of that.
Latromi having the soul, 2Z.
Look at how they pile in. I mean, they've already beat 2Z to their own obelisk. The fight will take place. Who's going to come off better?
He is going from above, though. I don't think they can stop him. Oh, no, he manages to sneak through from above. Latromi, perfect pathing. Going to add this percentage up NOTOFAST. They try desperately to deny it, but this is starting to make it a little bit more difficult.
Here comes a Sturmy from behind. Unfortunately, the assassination is not successful. The fight, it's going to go in favor of 2Z, and here comes the free percentage during respawn times.
That's going to be a bit of a game-changing team fight coming out from 2Z. They won every single battle in that little engagement, and now 70% to 25. A commanding lead for 2Z in what could be the final round.
We find ourselves back in the same situation. 75% built up for 2Z already. The soul, it has been lost. But I mean, the sheer amount of work NOTOFAST have to do. This is a huge order.
Try and bring it back on, but there we go. Noctis with that lightning gun, denying as much as possible to bring it through. At least it's in transit, though, so it's not picking up for 2Z. It is currently on the ground. Who's to grab it first? Goes the way of NOTOFAST, but Claws running in full speed with the gun, and 2 kills from Claws. There's the bravery we know and love.
I mean, he's gone out, but at this point, if you can take out 2 and lose 1, that's a fantastic trade, especially when you've got a lead like this. Noctis trying to make the passage back. Here comes the protection. The Plasma Trail already being painted, but look, Nyx in so much danger. Wow, just surrounded by enemies, but surviving because of how much damage you can reduce. Still alive, only just been taken out, but after how much work.
Makes you wonder, though, how long. I mean, that was, if anything, a distraction. 2Z were able to get the soul back during that entire time. However, though, the protection is on the side of Sturmy for NOTOFAST, so
he needs to use this right now. He needs to make sure this protection seizes the soul, but look at how many members gets Latromi, which is a fantastic start. Silent Zep looking to defend. A couple of members on NOTOFAST. The defense comes through, but wow, has to try and take the soul now. 10% left.
Sturmy getting that 3v1 thanks to the protection, even though that could have been dangerous. 2Z now on 90%. Sturmy was able to get that clutch 3 kills with the rocket launcher.
But here comes the extra issue here, just how many enemies. They are swarming Faz, they are surrounding Faz, unable to even collect some health.
Great throw though, look how much distance he covered at the very least, making 2Z walk as far as physically possible to get back, and Noctis gonna stop Silent Zep dead in his tracks.
Silent Zep, though, he's surrounded by friends. They are trying to head him off by the obelisk, but we saw how the team fight went last time. Will it repeat itself? No, tries to throw the soul to basically do what just happened to them, but this time round, NOTOFAST successful.
Still though, 10% in it, 10% separating 2Z from having to do a final map and winning. Wow! The first ever World Championships. They have such potential little work left to do, but NOTOFAST, the closer it gets to losing, the better they play.
Now they were able to pull off the absolute unthinkable comeback in the last round. Unfortunately, it kind of looks like they're probably going to have to do the same thing again, but Silent Zep, you can see how fast these frags lining up. Silent Zep taking a double kill.
Wonderful pathing coming out from Latromi, going to drop it off. 10% left to go. Every single second now counts. 92, 93. We are going lower and lower.
I think that one rocket might have been everything. They're trying to deny as much space as possible with super nails and rockets combined. Not too fast, they pile in. They're going to trade 1 for 1, but no. Zron takes out Toxic, who really was the star last time. Faz unfortunately commits suicide. This might be game over. 3% left and Not Too Fast. They have to rush right now. They have default weapons. They have to make something happen. And it's going to be 100%. 2Z are the Quake World Championships Grand Champions for Sacrifice.
Absolutely well-deserved. An unstoppable force from start to finish. Not Too Fast putting up that amazing attempt, taking the first map off them. But after all this, 2Z being the favorites to win for good reason. They are your first ever world champions for Sacrifice in Quake Champions.
I mean, what an amazing display from everyone in this tournament. You have to give it up to No Too Fast as well, but your grand champions, 2Z, I mean, this team is unstoppable.
Congratulations all around. Well done, 2Z. Such a great team from start to finish. Enjoy your time, guys. This is your moment.
I mean, realistically, who's going to stop these guys at this point? You can see No Too Fast. The handshakes come through. They fought so hard for it. They pulled off miraculous comebacks. But at the end of the day, I just feel like 2Z, they were one step ahead, and they have been one step ahead in Sacrifice from start to finish in the World Championships. They have such a deep understanding of the game. Their teamwork is unrivaled. The amount of study these players have put into in this game mode in particular. And I mean, that's it, right? Practice makes perfect. It was old versus new. And today, the new blood are the ones that have taken the crown here.